You're listening to Well, I Laughed, Part 1 of Far From Home, Missing and Handsome. I did something that I rarely do these days, which is paused the little gay audiobook that I'm listening to listen to today's episode, the one on Dionysus and the Greek myths.
I listened to the beginning of it and I was like, damn, that shit came together at the last fucking minute.
You did a phenomenal job. And also, what a fun little time capsule to the beginning of the school year. Just 10 out of 10 all across the board.
Oh, yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
So just good job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
On the way here, I did a very silly thing. Do you want to take a guess?
Went to Wendy's.
No. I'm in a season of savings.
I don't know.
I went to Wendy's whenever I wanted from June to August.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to do that now until November.
Until November. Excellent. I'll ask again November 1.
Thank you. I bought a lottery ticket for the Powerball.
Listen.
I bought 2.
I'm invested. I've thought about it.
It's $1.3 billion tonight, and the drawing's at 9. Yeah, I have a rule, and this is fun. When you become an adult, you start to establish rules for yourselves.
Yeah.
I do not buy lottery tickets because oftentimes, policy proposals have viewed it as a poor tax.
Yes.
Because people on the lower economic spectrum tend to be the ones that buy tickets the most.
I wonder why that is.
Right, because of the capitalist hellscape we live in.
Yeah.
But once it crosses $1 billion, that's everybody's game.
Yeah. Listen, that's good money for everybody.
That's really good. And everyone's like, oh, the taxes, grow up. When people are like, oh, I'm like, grow up.
That's still a fuck ton of money
it's
after
also,
the taxes.
It's also legitimately
a delicious wing.
No, it's not. It's the exact opposite. It's the most boring thing you could. Like, winning the lottery is the closest we get to a genie with a magic lamp. And you guys are like, you only get 3 wishes. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Still 3 wishes,
it's
babes.
Money that emerges because I bought
life-changing money.
I bought a receipt and now I never have to work again.
Yeah, that would be crazy. $100,000 would be life-changing money for me a little bit right now. $1 billion?
Right.
With a B?
So I go in there because, fun fact, friends, in case you're someone like me who doesn't really pay the lottery, here's what you need to know. Step 1, you can't buy them with a credit card. And it's good. That's good.
You can only buy them with debit, right?
Debit or cash.
Yeah,
and so,
that makes sense.
Because
people with betting problems.
Yeah. Yeah. And not going to even touch that. I have a family history of addiction. And so I have in my house somewhere this tiny little box, this thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And it just has a legitimately undetermined, I'm saying legitimately a lot.
Legitimately delicious wing.
I'm catching it
now.
As a series of unknown number of ones and then just a shit ton of quarters.
Right.
And so I go there, I crack her open.
Oh my God, I can buy Powerball tickets online.
Yeah, there's an app, which of course I do not want.
I have no problem with apps.
Are you buying it right now?
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might as well.
Drawing is at 8:59 Mountain Central Time.
But I don't want to have to pick my own numbers. Yeah.
No, you don't. Just ask it to randomly do it.
Quick pick. There
it is. Yeah. No, never pick your own numbers.
No, I knew that, but I was like, this is bullshit.
In America, sentimentality earns you nothing, okay?
It's true.
Screw all your family members' birth dates. That doesn't mean anything when it comes to the Powerball. I have notably never won, but I know that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, my Powerball number between the 2 tickets are 1 and 2. I don't even understand how that happened.
I mean, statistically, they're just as likely to get drawn as anything else.
I mean, that's fair. How many tickets did you buy?
2. I go in. Excellent. I have my $4. They're basically out in my hand.
Yeah.
Like a child trying to buy cigarettes for his mom. I'm like, this is how many I can get. I was like, I'd like to buy 2 Powerball tickets, please. And she goes, $2, $3, or $4. And I am assuming she's asking me, how much money do you want to spend on these Powerball tickets to purchase all together? So I go, $4, please.
Yeah.
And then so she, that'll be $8. I accidentally bought 2 $4 Powerball tickets. So I will be doing some research when I get home as to what I bought.
I can tell you.
It's not 2 tickets. It's not more than 2 tickets. It's still 2 tickets, but at $4 each. I bought the Disney Plus Apple TV streaming version.
I feel like there's a double play option for $1 per line, and then a power play option, which is another $1 per line. And I think the tickets are $2 each.
They are.
So,
I know that much. That's why I had $4 in my hand.
And so she added on the power play increases non-jackpot winnings. By the way, we are not sponsored and we do not encourage betting. Please gamble responsibly. And double play for more winning combinations.
Okay, so she did exactly what I instructed her to do. I'm just a dumbass and didn't know any better. I just put $8 worth of lottery tickets on my debit card. Do you know how lucky it is that I even hold on to that thing anymore? Everything goes through the Chase app. If I need cash, I'm getting it from my Chase credit card. I've actually legitimately thought about freezing the debit card in a block of ice. You know, I won't lose it that way. You know,
See, I have enough debt where I'm like, oh, actually, everything's only going on the debit card until everything else gets paid off. We're just... No one breathe on it, or else the interest rates will go up.
Yeah. Okay. So just two different approaches to the lottery.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
And both of us are, okay, here we go.
Are now playing.
And now we're playing. I bought 3 just to spite you.
Here's how... Hilarious. I love it. Okay, so you have a 50% better chance of winning than I do.
Sure.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a couple of different stories to share with us tonight before we jump into it. I'm super excited for it all. But before I share like work stories, my parents are in town.
Yeah.
Or like actively arriving into town right now. While there are many ways you can tell my parents are coming to town, most notably, I've cleared my weekend. I like essentially played taps like the brr, 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 because I had to put away my like instant kettle and bring out the Mr. Coffee maker, because if there's something Greg and Teresa...
What's a Mr. Coffee? Oh, like the actual coffee maker. I thought it was like percolator?
No, you're
okay.
right.
No,
everyone's like, how fancy coffee do they have?
No.
They might be bringing
cheap.
their own Dunkin' grounds.
Yep.
And I've explained to them that you just take the water that boiled almost instantly and pour it over the exact same amount of grounds you would have put in your Mr. Coffee, but now it's in a gorgeous golden pitcher. And they're like, maybe you could make that for us on Sunday as like a treat or something like that. And it's like, it's your coffee, go with God. Like, I'm not here to tell you anymore.
Go with God.
I will use more coffee grounds in one pot of coffee than they will this entire weekend, right? Because they just kind of want hot brown water, really.
Yeah.
They
do.
They're like, it's 10 a.m. I can't have more caffeine right now, or I won't be able to go to sleep at night.
Yeah. Sorry, this thing is asking me if I want to unlock 50% off Factor meals.
No,
I'm buying lottery tickets. I think it's pretty clear I don't want your deal on Honey Love.
Let me say the whole sentence before you come for me. We generally have a rule that, like, on the pod, if some of us needs to do something on our phone, we just pause it for a second. I have chosen not to, because watching you navigate the Powerball app, which, by the way, I would have
just
never
a website,
downloaded.
actually.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Just 10 out of 10. They got you, girl. You're in.
I have a funny story.
Go ahead.
Is this a good time for a funny story?
When isn't?
Okay. Well, sometimes you're like in the middle of a story and then my rat brain doesn't process that you're not done with the story. And I'm like, anyway, thanks for teeing me up.
And I found a small yellow chicken in my Mr. Coffee.
I was going to ask you if you found anything else.
That's the only thing. But here's the thing. If we go back through the archaeological records, I'm pretty sure the chicken attack... Very good. Thank you. I actually kind of rehearsed it in the car. I was like, I know how I need to say this. That was part of the first wave.
The first wave. So we think that it then went to mushrooms. Didn't you find the mushrooms? Because they were in the plants at the beginning.
Yeah, but the very first thing I found was a chicken.
Okay.
So they might have happened at the same time, and then the mushrooms might have also then like
the way I
continued
fully expected this entire house to be covered in chickens and mushrooms when I walked through the door, and like I keep like
from Alaska.
Yeah, I feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like I'm a little scared to look at my art.
When I strike. No, I'm kidding. You had a story.
So I had a wonderful weekend. We went to Alaska to celebrate one of my college roommates' weddings, and it was awesome. I've always wanted a reason to go to Alaska, so I had a couple friends that went up there like a couple days early and went up to Denali and were part of the 30% that got to see Denali because the weather was clear enough. And so I don't know, it was really cool. But the first day that we went, we were gonna go kayaking in Kenai, like the Kenai fjords, and the weather, we had to wake up super early. It was a 2-hour drive from our Airbnb to the town where it was in. And so we had to like leave the Airbnb at like 4:45 in the morning. So we're all dead tired. We pull in at like 7 or something like that. And literally as we're pulling in, the person in the passenger seat is about to pull up what the parking directions were on our reservation. And we get a call and she answers it and it's like on the like a car
100%.
so we can all hear it.
It's a conference call. We're all in it together.
We're all in it. And
so excited to hear your pitch deck.
Yes.
We're all here.
Yes.
Shoot.
And so Aspen, my roommate, picks it up, and the person is like, "Hi, is this Aspen?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is she." And we're all like, "Oh, it's the people from the kayaking place," asking, like, making sure that we're like still coming because we're like arguably maybe a couple minutes late. And she was like, "Hey, yeah, so there's still some residuals from the storm that passed through, so we actually have to cancel your reservation, so we can either move it to a different day or give you a refund." And we were like, "We can't move it to another day." So but we drove 2 hours and then just had to kind of kill the day in Seward because another part of our group was going on a hike up some like glacier basically to see the top of the glacier. And so we ended up doing the shorter version of that hike that got us to like the view from the bottom. And we get there, and as you're walking to this viewpoint, they have these stakes in the side of the road that have the years on them. And for a while, we're like, the fuck are those years? Yeah. And it's how far the glacier has receded. And like the one from like 2005 to 2025, where it is now, is like really disheartening. And I at first the gaps are kind of small. Like if you're at one sign, you can kind of see the next. And then for a while, you're like, I haven't seen a sign in a really long time. God. And it's like every decade or so. And so I look down at my silly little phone, and the text that I see on my phone from my dear, lovely friend Grant. Let's see if I can find it. Quote. "No, I did research, and turns out climate change is like really bad."
One of my seniors seemed to have been born on this earth that morning and was just kind of hitting out bangers. And I'm just dropping them in the group chat. Like,
they were so funny, but I was like, oh.
Because do you remember what the next two were?
Yeah, do you want me to share them?
100%.
Okay. The next one was actually really funny.
Yeah, and has completely got me to rethink this cookie company.
Yeah. Of course the Crumble CEO is gay. He spelled his company the same way as Grinder.
2 different children, 2 different periods.
Yeah.
Also, the periods don't even touch, Kate. There was it wasn't like they saw each other in passing.
Yeah, like period 1 and period 3. Yeah, and then the next one, blondes who ski in Colorado.
That's right.
Groundbreaking.
Listen, it was a good day. People were in a good mood.
It was fun.
They were a blast. The children are hilarious.
The quote was funny after I got in the car and wasn't actively staring at a glacier.
As you weren't getting sunburnt in what had once been covered in snow and ice.
Like literally I should have been buried in snow at that point. So that's good. That's really fun.
Yeah, it's tough, But hey, at least you saw it while it was still there.
That's so fucked up of you. And even after I bought you this bear pin.
Shut up.
I'm just determined I'm going to buy bear paraphernalia for Grant everywhere I go.
My name's Alaska. No relation to the drag queen. I have a couple more than just like banger quotes from like school. Because those all happened on like Friday, right? Yeah. Okay. There's actually... Okay, there's 2. Sorry, my Patreon notes right now, which is just what I'm now sharing at the start of the episode. Hilarious.
Yeah.
First, a child said this sentence to me. "No, mister, you won't understand. My mom and I are fighting. She got a cameo from former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, and she won't show it to me."
That's so funny.
Do you know why he's the former governor of Illinois? No. He tried to sell Obama's Senate seat.
Oh, yes! I remember that!
And went to jail for corruption. And then, for whatever reason, Trump pardoned him for corruption. And now he makes a living doing Cameo.
Okay, hear me out. Podcaster on Cameo, rising star. Politician on Cameo, you've given up your career. That's so funny, because George Santos is also on Cameo.
Right. The best part was that this child's mom...
That's so funny.
...refused to show her the video. And it's like, what is it, a how-to guide on how to do corruption?
God, I
don't
hope so.
think he's the one that should give that lecture.
No, he got caught.
Nice, good. The other one, and I teach students of all faith, and I respect all faiths, and that's great. And I've taught in some, like, essentially 100% Hispanic Latino communities where all of my students identify not as Christians,
Catholic
but as Catholic specifically. I have taught many students with rosaries, okay? Mm-hmm. Today, I saw one that...
A rosary or a child?
A rosary on a child.
Okay.
that the cross was made out of wood. Hadn't seen that before.
Okay.
It was giant.
Oh.
Like very big, to the point where the first thing that crossed my mind, I did not say this out loud. This needs to be clear. You were the first people to hear it. I went, okay, vampire cosplay. Like, it was that big.
How big? Like, oh, that's large.
But it's not a circle. It's literally just the
it's
two.
like 6 inches from top to bottom.
Yeah, it was actually, if you asked me to describe the child's face, I couldn't. The cross took up that much attention. And again, like pop off
That's
king.
a witch costume.
Express express your faith or whatever, right? In the same way like students wear like hijabs or like truly I don't
Whatever.
care. But I was like, haven't ever seen that one before.
That one's large.
And it's made 100% out of wood, you know?
Yeah, that's...
Like I think if it was made out of like silver or like metal or something, I wouldn't have even noticed it at all. But I was like,
definitely would
interesting.
have.
Well, I think I'm just used to it.
Right, yeah, it's more normal to have a necklace made out of a precious metal, I suppose.
Okay, just a couple more. All of these are great. Honestly, how do I want to order this? Do you have stories too, by the way? More stories?
I'm checking. I don't think so. No, I do have another from the wedding.
Okay. I'm going to do one last quick story and then wedding. And then all three of these are actually driving stories. Stay with us. They're hilarious. You know how over this weekend I was feeding you and Jacob some videos? Do you want to explain to our audience the videos I was sending you and Jacob? Not the Stevie Nicks ones, the other ones.
Yes. Thank you. I put that together on my own. The Stevie Nicks one is just a deep cut. The other ones we were sending were conspiracy theories about if Donald Trump was dead.
Right.
Did we find out? I did not want to know if he was alive or not.
He emerged on television.
Ugh.
Again, not looking good.
It could also be pre-recorded,
definitively alive. Yeah. But like this person's like, oh God, you know.
Did you see?
Like it's kind of, he looked so bad. You were like, you know, it's not AI because they would absolutely yassify the shit out of him. He would be pickled if they were using AI right now.
He would be pickled.
You know what it means without me having to tell
So
you what it means.
funny.
Everyone instantly understands exactly what I'm talking about. But okay, sorry, go ahead.
Did you see? I only saw this from Stephen Colbert because he's back, thank God.
Right.
And he made comments about it, and he was like, the other thing that happened is that someone got video of someone just tossing out huge black bags from like a second or third story window from
People
the
were
White
at
House.
a house party in DC spying on the White House, and they were like fucking stealing shit out of the bag.
The White House had to comment like, oh, that's a janitorial staff. The president wasn't in at the time. And we're like, what? That doesn't make us feel better.
What do you mean the janitorial staff has to literally chuck garbage out the second floor window?
Also, what do you mean you don't have screens on your windows?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It actually answered nothing that we were curious
Literally none of the questions.
about. Okay, so he emerges on television, right? Monday evening, everyone was like, listen, guys, he might be alive, but pretending he was maybe dead actually brought me so much joy.
The dopamine, whenever I opened like a social media app, is the first time social media has like successfily gotten me to laugh in a while.
Right. And
Yeah.
so a lot of people were like, this was a really good dress rehearsal. I feel really good. I think we're really ready to go.
We're ready.
And you did high school theater. So you know the importance of the sentence I'm about to say.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a show.
Yeah, we have a show. We have a show.
We're practiced. We're ready.
I do think, here's my conspiracy theory now that we know he's alive, theoretically. Someone posted at like 3 a.m. in DC that all of the roads to and from the like military Walter Reed were closed except for one that like leads almost directly to the White House, one that is like a secure entrance, and then another like other one entrance because you know it's a hospital and they can't just close it. So my theory is that he was in the hospital for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
I have my last little set of stories. So back to you.
Oh,
you have to
the
last
wedding?
Yes.
Super sweet. I did have to ask one of my friends because I found out my roommate has a sister. I knew she had a sister, like somewhere in my head, but I don't think I'd ever seen a picture of her.
Right.
And so I saw the sister and I was like, are they like full sisters or half sisters or is one of them adopted?
Sure.
And one of our roommates that was a lot closer to her than I was like, no, they're half sisters. And honestly, I can't quite figure it out. And like the rest of the night was like us kind of looking at them like, And no, I think they are related, but like it was just like my my roommate, her heritage is indigenous to Alaska. So
Right.
she has like a bit of a like a lighter but dark complexion and then like really dark straight hair.
Sure.
And like just like has the same facial features,
Yeah.
you know, that you would expect. And this other girl, if I had just seen her in the street, I was like, you white.
Sorry.
You white.
We're walking down the street, have pity. There's a lot of Hamilton songs in my
Okay.
head right now.
Good. Keep that going.
I saw light in your eyes for the first time since October 2024.
That's so fucked up of you to say.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
I just want you to like the musicals I'm into. Anyway, that's totally unrelated. My roommate's sister was like so kind and also I think was in charge of some of the catering stuff, and the catering was amazing. We found out that my roommate and her grandmother caught all of the salmon, like actually caught all the salmon.
yeah.
And I don't know what seasoning they were using on it, but I'm gonna ask for a secret family
Yeah.
recipe,
Yeah,
I feel like, because
yeah.
it was so fucking good. And then one of the speeches for the groom, I think, was like a friend of both of them, a close friend.
Okay.
And so he gives his speech. It's a bunch of embarrassing stories about the groom, which we love. And he like raises a toast to everyone. And so we all clink our glasses and he was like, and now put your drinks down. And there's a green bag underneath everyone's table. And we're like, what is this, Oprah? And so we reached out. Sure enough, there's a green paper bag filled with fireball shooters.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
And then
That's hey, write that down.
yeah.
Whatever note, Pinterest thing you have for me, put it in there. We could pause the show for a second. For my wedding or
Shooters
my 40th,
under
it's the same kind of party.
table. Excellent. And then I had to talk to my roommate about it after because they both kept getting like the extra fireball shooters that people weren't taking.
Some girls are born with all the luck.
Yeah, it's. And somebody I was talking to her, and I was like, that was so funny. And she was like, yeah, I'm really hoping that that's not going to be a problem for the venue because we kind of agreed no liquor, no spirits.
Those are little snacks.
Yeah, and I was like, it'll be fine. We'll clean up all the shooter bottles.
Imagine being so uncool about that, though. You
Also,
know?
it's Fireball, so like, I mean, you could make arguments.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, but it was so funny. It was adorable. It was an incredible wedding. 10 out of 10 would recommend going to a destination wedding for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, all three of these stories are driving in Denver stories, okay? You're like, ugh, I don't want to hear any of them. Girl, yes, you do, okay? When I moved to Denver, every single person was moving to Denver. Like a decade ago, everyone was coming here. And I think to a certain degree, it watered down the Colorado weirdness a little bit.
100%.
But then migration in has really slowed down, and Colorado just kind of gets in you. 5 years in, I bought a Subaru. You know what I mean? And you drive around the street.
You don't even really think about it,
Right.
is the thing. Yeah.
I own Patagonia and a Subaru, and I wore Chacos here. Okay?
Yeah.
I have 5 Nalgene bottles, 4 of them covered in stickers.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets into you. And I've felt like within the last year, you've kind of seen some weird return to the streets of Denver a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what these 3 stories are.
I have a neighbor that carries around his iguana.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah, he's a frequent person that shows up on like the Ring app because people are like, "Does this guy have an iguana?" And everyone's like, "How do you not know about this guy yet?" For a couple of days,
Boo, you just moved in, get out.
Casey and I's walk route was the same because he walks his iguana.
Is it on his shoulders or is it on
It's
the
like
sidewalk?
he holds it and it like kind
Sorry,
of.
I know you guys don't like it when we make that sound.
He doesn't like reptiles.
That was an
I think it's
authentic
very
reaction.
cute.
Yeah, I
he
do
he
not.
holds it and it kind of like clings to his front a little bit, and then he walks it over to like a local baseball park. And the first time I saw him, he just kind
Plays
of
catch?
no, he just put like there was a Volo team playing, and he just kind of put the iguana on the ground, and then they just kind of hung out and watched the Volo game. And so there's a couple days in a row where I was like, I need to ask him what that iguana's name is, but the guy clearly is not looking for conversation.
He's just looking for eyes. He just wants a little bit of attention.
A little
He
bit.
doesn't want any conversation.
And that's a great way to do it.
I understand that.
And I think he's mastered RBF to get what he wants.
I've swiped left on some of the hottest men I've ever seen on dating apps because
Yeah.
they had snakes or lizards wrapped around them. And if you feel personally attacked right now, I'm sorry, we weren't going to be a match. Okay, we can just be best friends forever.
You can talk to me about it. I do enjoy the various reptile.
So Denver weird,
Yeah.
3 stories. All of them have to deal with my commute.
Okay.
Yesterday, I'm driving home from work and I'm doing that really fun thing where I've worked an entire day and I still have things to do that night and I'm dead tired at 4:30 and would fall asleep instantly.
Yes.
So I stop at this local coffee shop. I'm going to keep it nameless for the store I'm about to share, but it's super cute and adorable downtown. I walk in, I order, of course, iced Americano.
Of course.
Okay. I know it's 3 gays behind the counter.
Oh, yeah, you do.
They don't have any pins on. They don't have like any name tags or like pronouns or anything like that. I know. And they immediately take my order. It's great. Honestly, it's a pretty good deal right now too. It's an iced Americano for like $4.15 and that includes the 20% gratuity they already have added.
Oh, that's nice.
No, I know, right? And normally after I order, like it's super busy oftentimes. So like I'll step in the corner or whatever and just try to be out of the way.
Yeah.
But there's no one there. And I linger at the pastries just for a second because no one's there.
Yep. But
And
they're trained to talk to you.
No, even
You
even
overheard.
better.
Incredible.
The
Incredible.
gay who takes my order turns around and starts talking to the gay who's already cooking up some espresso shots for me.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. And I was telling him everything. I was like, babes, we're boyfriends now, okay? You cannot tell me about the people you have hooked up with or I will murder them, okay? So we're at Charlie's the other night, right? And he was like, oh, yeah, that guy over there. Well, him and I did blah, blah, blah together, right? And he was like, babe, I want to go over there and strangle him right now. And I just think like that's a boundary, you know? And then the other one goes, no, I totally get that. We don't even go to X Bar anymore, me and my boyfriend. And I'm just like pretending to be looking at the same croissant as I'm like grabbing the counter and leaning in.
I was like preparing in my head, like, and Grant maybe they're just of the community, you know, and not gay. No, and they were gay. Yep. Okay.
It's actually such a fun and pithy and lively conversation. I'm like, do I jump in? No, because then that soils this moment, right? Like I'm a voyeur. I'm watching this.
I always just giggle a little bit and see,
And that's when the third gay appears.
Incredible.
Okay?
Iconic.
He is older, right, than the other two. Not involved with the coffee making. He's like inventory or whatever.
Yeah.
And you could kind of see him like make a look at me. And I think he is like, I'm sorry that they're being so loud about this conversation, but I want to be like, no, it's fine.
Get them to go louder.
Right. I was like, share their names and Instagram handles. I just want to know. The older
gay was like, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this.
And I'm like, girl, this is the first adult conversation I have heard all day.
Yeah.
You know? And then I get into my car and I start driving away and I think, just to be young in an open gay relationship in Capitol Hill, you know, working as a barista, right?
It's the dream.
Listen, the dream really is the life that I'm living right now, but that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Fast forward to this morning, I'm driving again from the burbs to downtown to my school. Trader Joe's downtown. Mm-hmm. No one's in the parking lot except one Cruise America RV. Someone camped out overnight at Trader Joe's.
Good gig if you can get it.
Great gig.
Good gig if you can get it.
And I'm like, haha, so funny, so me. Also, I didn't think those things could enter a city. Like,
I was, especially the streets of Denver.
Yeah, like go park it at Mount Falcon and bike in like the rest of us, you know? Last story.
Okay.
Driving home today.
Yes.
There's a lot of traffic, more traffic than usual. You're kind of getting to know the cars around you a little bit, right? Because you're not really moving all that fast or at all. And I look to the right and I'm appreciating this woman's ankle tattoo because she's driving a Jeep with no doors on it. And that's Denver. That's so Denver.
Do you remember?
One last detail.
Okay.
As I stare at the ankle tattoo, I go, holy shit, is that a child seat in the back? Wait, is there a child in the child seat in
with
a doorless
no doors? Not even back doors?
Or roof or windows. It's like just the carriage, just the cage of a Jeep. A ankle tattoo sticking out just above driver's side wheel. Full on child strapped in the center car seat.
No.
Hey, you know what? It's her week.
Not a good gig.
And
avoid it.
What were you going to say?
I happened across one of those recently on my drive home.
Be a bit more specific when you say
Jeep
one of
without,
those. Thank you.
Doors. And they also didn't have side mirrors.
Right.
And he was changing lanes and we were in like stop bumper to bumper traffic, and I see him fully lean out of his car to check where I'm at, and I'm like, that can't be legal, right? Turns out it like kind of is. Like you just have to have a mirror that shows you behind. And I was like, that man, how is that safe? safe in normal conditions. He had to fully get his entire body outside of his driver's side door.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah, they walk away.
Every time I see one of those, though, I usually feel pretty comforted because I know I'm within arm's reach of a pack of Zins. And I think that's a lot of comfort.
Sure.
Anything to take the edge off in this country
I mean, yeah,
these days.
fair enough. That's fair enough.
This has been special. I've really loved this so far.
And we're good.
Amazing.
Yep.
Because that was literally the last story.
No, that's good. Yeah.
I'm so excited for tonight's episode. It's fan service, and I am the fan. No, it's going to be a great story. You're going to really like it. It's going to have some twists and turns like it always does.
Yeah.
And it's fan service to me. It's just
okay.
me.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
There's a couple of words in here that I kind of need to get like a running start at.
I edited the Dionysus episode like I always do because I'm hypercritical of myself.
Okay.
And the way that I was like, no, I definitely took way more of a pause before I said that word because I couldn't say that word right now. I did say aristocracy though, completely smoothly, and I did not get enough credit for that.
Well, you've graduated. You're up another year. So congrats.
Yeah, what word is going to bother me now? I'm scared. Every Greek name. Apparently we pronounced several things wrong. We saw some messages about it, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by that at all.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I'm going to start off today's episode. Let me clock the time so I can just keep myself tethered to earth for a second. I'm going to start today's episode talking to you about one of the most interesting conversations I ever heard in my U.S. history class in college.
Okay.
You with me?
Sure.
If I had to ask you, why does the Northeast have so many more major cities than the Southeast? What would be your answer?
Because the South is where like there's more fertile land and the plantations had to be more spread out.
Sure. But I mean, you can farm in the Northeast too.
Isn't the South way more fertile though?
Yeah, I mean, for certain kinds of crops, 100%, yeah.
Is it purely just because we landed in the North?
So we, as in like English settlers,
yeah.
landed in two different places, and it was two very different groups of people that landed in these two places.
Okay.
So in Virginia, you have Jamestown,
Right.
which actually, pause real quick. Are you a Roanoke girly?
I am obsessed with Roanoke.
I kind of figured.
Yeah,
You're going to like today's episode.
Okay. Is it Roanoke?
You'll find out in today's episode. But people who land at Roanoke and then later a little bit further up north in Virginia in Jamestown,
Right.
they are there exclusively to turn a profit, okay?
Okay.
And so they want a lot of land, they want it cultivated instantly, and they want kind of as few people on it as possible because that's labor cost, baby, okay?
Yeah.
So there's actually like economic incentives to be spread out in the South.
Yeah.
Up north, you have perceived like religious refugees, right?
Right.
Who are not moving to make a profit, but to make a life.
Yes.
Right? The people who are moving
They're
up to the
looking
Plymouth,
for community.
Right.
Yeah.
Those who land on like Plymouth Rock or
Yeah.
whatever are moving to celebrate their version of Christianity. They are moving oftentimes as whole families, not as like young men trying to make money.
You ever seen Plymouth Rock?
It's in a little cage.
Yeah, it's very underwhelming.
We got 3 Instagram videos last week of
About-
caged Plymouth Rock.
Yeah. I think it might have not been fully caged when I saw it.
I thought you said when they landed, and I was
They
like, yeah, I
landed.
bet there wasn't
it wasn't a cage around the rock. It's kind of crazy to me that, yeah, anyway, regardless, it just feels underwhelming.
Say what you want.
No, that's all I wanted to say.
But so that's a huge element of this, right? People who would land in the Northeast, you would form tight-knit communities that support each other, and you would cultivate the land around you to like provide you with food and stuff, but like cultivation wasn't the main economic driver of the Northeast. And so these towns would start off very dense and they would grow. And basically once your father couldn't like split his land holdings enough to like give it to all of his sons and still support like a family, like there's not enough land for me to split it in half and you still both don't starve
Yeah,
to death.
right.
You would just kind of move down the road and like another little town would form. But like they're still
Okay,
very
yeah.
dense, right? Because the major economies in the Northeast are things like timber, they're whaling, they're
Right.
shipping, they're mining, kind of depending on a
Okay.
handful of areas. And all of those industries too require way more density.
Yes. Require more labor.
Correct. Today's story kind of begins like 50 years before the arrival of these two people.
Okay.
Today, we are going to talk about
Are you going to talk about what made those two groups different?
I can. It's not like a crucial part of today's story.
I just want to know why the people that went south were geared for profit and why they
the people who
there.
went south are literally being paid by a business to go make money. Like they are being financially
They're
sponsored.
Not leaving for their own like interest, really.
They're hoping to make money, but they have investors back home. They're also trying to connect with, and it's basically exclusively men.
Indentured servants.
Correct.
Really realizing
and then they're like, okay, now we need indentured servants.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fun.
It's a bunch of
better if it was free.
Correct. And because in England, only the firstborn son gets to inherit everything, a lot of these people are middle children who are middlemen between the labor of the farm and the like where it's going to go. Middle child, middlemen who've settled middle America.
Middle children, middle men, middle America.
Right. Meanwhile, up north, they're like, I brought my wife and 18 children because we believe it's a sin to celebrate Christmas, which is legitimately what they believe. Their version of Christianity is so unfun. I'm like,
At least have fun with it.
Yeah, I don't believe in religious persecution, but I do think you guys are a bad time. Mostly kidding. They celebrated celery. Anyways, that's the difference between these two people.
Okay, cool.
Oftentimes people landing in like Jamestown area wasn't always viewed as like a permanent venture, whereas up north, yes it was.
Yes, it was. Okay,
yes it was. Okay, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so based off what I've told you so far, if you had to name one country that's the villain in this story, who would you pick?
Spain.
Yes!
Are you serious?
Yes, girl.
Fuck yeah. I was between Spain and France. Can we redo that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you because while American colonizers and English colonizers did unspeakable human atrocities to the indigenous people of the Americas, no one did that more so at a larger scale with a smaller degree of remorse than the Spanish Empire, baby. And that's where our story begins. Okay, so history lesson.
Okay.
When does Columbus sail across the Atlantic into the Americas?
1442.
92. Columbus sails the ocean blue in 1492.
So I know it ended in a 2.
Correct. He sails to the New World, right? Lands in the Caribbean. Immediately starts doing genocide.
Yep.
And I want to make sure...
It's crazy because he was like, this is India.
Right, which is where we get the word Indians from.
Yes.
But he's like, okay, let's immediately start with, and like trigger warning here, but let's start assaulting these people. Let's go ahead and murder some of them. Let's capture some of them. Oh, all these diseases we brought are now
what a horrible
murdering them. They don't seem to have weapons and they don't fear us. So let's go ahead and just kind of abuse that goodwill that they're assuming. They just never assumed someone would arrive to destroy them in this way. Right.
Here I am.
And so it starts in the Caribbean, but they're like, the Spanish are like, we need 2 things, gold and a way to bring that gold to China. Okay. All we have is the fucking audacity. That is the only thing we are bringing to this equation. Well, that and guns. Right?
Yeah.
And so they're in the Caribbean, right? They're moving to places like Puerto Rico. They're going to places like Cuba. They then start to land on what we would now consider like mainland North and South America, like the continent itself.
It's crazy
specifically around
the gold's in Alaska, baby.
Right. Also some parts of Mexico and South America, but
it's still in Alaska because it's hard to get.
Not enough wealth to justify what they're about to do.
Yeah.
And they kind of from the center grow out. Okay. Does that make sense?
Sorry, I was just distracted because Grant did the little kith motion with his hands, and I was like, what do you mean?
I love that you think this is the little kith motion because one pair of lips is very much over the entire one's face.
Okay, I mean, it's still the same shape of hands.
And they both agree Europeans have a right to colonize this land.
Clearly, because they're both white.
So they're in the Cuba, they're in the Caribbean, they're landing in Mexico, they're in La Florida, right?
Oh.
They're at the very northern tip of South America, so like modern day shore of Colombia and Venezuela, places like that, right? And they're trying to find a way to get to China. And because they're dumbasses, they don't know that they've hit an entire continent yet. They're like, if we just keep sailing, it'll turn and we can just kind of ride it around and then keep sailing to China, which just has to be on the other side.
Oh my God.
And as they sail up north, the first massive bay they come across. Do you want to take a guess, geography girl?
Sorry, my brain went Gulf of America. No, I have no idea. As soon as you say it, I'm going to know, but I have no idea.
I forgot about how stupid this country is.
We're so fucking stupid.
Ding, ding, ding. The Chesapeake.
There it is. Yep.
They land in the Chesapeake
Yeah.
Bay. And the Spanish at this point are old hat at like what to do in the situation. They come across a community whose language they don't know. And then with horses, guns, and swords are like, grab that child. He looks perfect age. He looks like he's somewhere between 10 and 12 years old, which is the perfect age to both learn a new language and not forget your old one. See, the children that we were stealing as children would forget their native tongue.
And
the
we need ones that can communicate.
They're like, we're literally going to kidnap a translator. And I'm laughing not because it's funny, but because
Yeah,
of
but that's
how
a crazy thing to do.
Also, the fucking trial and error to come up with that, like, common sense. Too young of a child, they'll forget their indigenous
God
tangle.
forbid I learn a new language.
Right. Steal an older child, we'll have to listen to Spanish with an accent, which I refuse to do. A 10 to 12-year-old.
Oh.
And that is where we meet the star
We
of
have so many
today's
reparations
episode.
to make.
Yeah, no more than the Spanish, but we certainly have our own laundry list.
Yeah.
Paquipquineo.
Okay.
It's going to be a word that I will say slow.
Paquipquineo.
Paquipquineo.
Okay.
And that is how one of the videos I saw pronounced it. So that's where I learned it from.
Yep.
If that is wrong, I'm sorry. This is me. I honestly, God, practiced the way I heard it being pronounced.
I learned today that I pronounced Calliope wrong, and
How are we supposed to pronounce
I don't know. I think you also got it wrong because the
100%.
comment was, "I think you guys should look up how to pronounce it."
I know I got it wrong.
Oh yeah, I am realizing once I read that comment, like, oh yeah, I've never heard it spoken. I'm not gonna find out right now, dear listener, but I will eventually. I'm
We
sure.
apologize,
Yeah.
and we'll get to it.
Yeah,
but it's
one
also
day.
the Greeks.
The Dionysus episode had way too many names for me to reasonably have to look up all of them. Also, I was running out of time. Continue.
It's okay. Paquipquineo.
Paquipquineo.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot of Q's, if that helps.
Paquipquineo.
So it's the fall of 1561. The Spanish sail into the Chesapeake, kind of hoping they are going to be able to take this giant bay into a giant river that's going to take them to the other side.
Yep.
They're starting to realize that, like, it
so
seems to
funny
be
to
a
me.
lot of land north to
Yeah.
south, but maybe there's a river that cuts through it, which is a thing that does not exist in Europe or Africa.
Yeah. There's no reason
or
for them to
Asia.
believe that
There
would be the
is
case.
no river in the world that flows from one ocean across the continent and into the other ocean.
We have the tools now.
Laughably stupid idea.
Yes.
But they're committed to it.
Yep.
So they grab Paquipquineo and they sail back from from the Chesapeake with Paquipquineo.
So that's the name of a child.
Yes.
Okay. I was
Like a-
what is, I feel like you were
Yeah.
going to tell me eventually.
Sorry. Yes, it's a 12 to 13-year-old
Boy. Okay, cool.
Of the Algonquin speakers
Okay.
of the tidewaters of the Chesapeake sail from the Chesapeake to Madrid because they're like, oh my God, look at you willing child we've just kidnapped. Do you know who's gonna love you? The King of Spain.
Yeah.
And
Gonna
so
bring back a little trinket.
100%. And so they go across the ocean, and in like 6 weeks, essentially, Paquipquineo learns Spanish.
Okay.
As they're trying to sail to Spain, they first have to stop in Lagos, Portugal, which is this port
Okay.
in the very, very small, like southern tip. I mean, not small at the time; it was a massive port.
Yeah,
but
well, yes,
southern
yes.
end of Portugal, and it's really hard to explain the degree to which Paquipquineo's life changed. Literally overnight.
Yeah.
Like not like metaphorically, like at one point was unaware of the existence of Europeans.
Yes.
And then essentially 24 hours later was on
on
a
a
European boat there. And here's something that's really fascinating.
That's going to be when the aliens show up, guys.
Quick, hopefully.
Yeah. Take me out.
Listen, I believe
Or
in
take someone out.
I believe in democracy, but if it's this democracy, I can,
I get it.
That's a joke. Paquipquineo lands in Lagos, Portugal, where he's allowed to explore as long as he has like a minder, like someone to watch
Okay.
him, because they're going to bring him to Madrid to King Philip.
Yeah. So
okay?
he's just a woman that has not been debuted to society yet.
Correct, 100%. He's also, there's a really uncomfortable little like asterisks in Spanish and Portuguese society.
Okay.
Because he is not European. He is not from the Iberian Peninsula. He is not white Portuguese or Spanish.
Yes.
But he's also not some of the hundreds of enslaved Africans in the port of Lagos that are about to be shipped off to the Caribbean to Spanish and Portuguese colonies to work in plantations until they die. And it's for the first time ever, now able to speak Spanish, he's like, oh, okay, so that's crazy.
Yes.
Like enslavement. But you know what also is crazy? Poverty.
Yeah.
These communities lived in smaller villages,
Yes.
right? Where they supported each other, like strong familial ties, right?
Yeah.
Had been there forever, right?
Yeah.
Like their history goes back to when they settled in this region. And he was like, poverty's crazy, right? Like wealth distributions, like the elitism, right? Like obviously there's like...
What are you, a modern Democrat?
No, because he hasn't accepted any PAC money
There
yet.
it is. Yeah. That's fine.
We're gonna be so awful during the primary. We're gonna be
be assholes.
awful during the primary.
I'm gonna be following them so closely it's gonna become a problem
Yeah.
for my mental health, probably.
He was like, this poverty's crazy. This like elitism that you guys have is crazy. This enslavement is nutso facto. Like that's nuts.
So facto.
He's basically like, you have fucked up everything.
Yes.
None of this is good. And by the way, you kidnapped me.
Yes.
And so he basically learns right away, as if being kidnapped wasn't enough, that the Europeans are fucked, that they are not to be trusted. They are
Yeah.
bad people.
Crazy to think that the same age group of kids that I was responsible for in when I was a summer camp counselor, because I was kind of an asshole and so were they, is the same age as Paquipquineo.
Yes. Because he's like 13, 14. But here's the thing, too.
Whoa.
There's something about being surrounded by awful people that really clarifies your thinking.
Yeah.
I know. I teach high school. Kidding. But he's like, I want to get home. And these people are obsessed with gold. They're obsessed with conquering. They're obsessed with taking. But they also, and they don't find anything ironic about this, love Jesus. They love Jesus so much.
He's known about Jesus for a week and
Yes.
he was like, you guys aren't doing...
Have you read this?
Yeah. These plugs don't go together.
This can't be the same book you're reading. And so they bring him all the way to Madrid, to King Philip of Spain. And
Yikes.
he's like, hey, yo, King Philip, I'm your new favorite. It's me, Paquiquineo. You know what's good.
Yeah.
Through your shining light of human trafficking, I have seen the wisdom of Jesus Christ. And I now present to you, sharks, the opportunity of a lifetime.
Sharks.
You return me to my family.
Just
Which I know you don't want to do.
but hear me out.
And then I will convert everyone to Catholicism for you. And they're like, interesting, really interesting, really, really interesting.
Because
And
they can't say no without Paquipquineo being like,
not only
ooh.
can they not say no, but they're like, you're it. You're the secret ingredient to my master plan. Because King Philip II
Dr.
is now
Doofenshmirtz, I think you mean.
Doctor who the fuck?
Doofenshmirtz.
From what?
Phineas and Ferb, the guy with the platypus that he doesn't recognize when it puts on a hat.
There's not a better metaphor in this entire episode. There's not a better metaphor in this entire episode. That's fucked. What you just did right there.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like, you bring me back to my parents. And we'll all be Catholic for you. And he's like, yes, this is perfect. Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Because here's the thing. I've thought about murdering all of them. But what does Jesus like more than murdering non-Christians? Making them Christians. He's like, the best way for me to conquer this place is to turn all of these people who we are at knife point forcing to give up thousands of years of culture
Yes.
into my religion.
Why not?
And then they will be good Spaniards. Of course, not Spaniards because they're not white. They will work for us in part of our glorious Spanish Empire, which is coming to a location near you.
Much like the lottery that Grant's playing.
You bought tickets too.
I don't know what you're talking. I think it's still waiting for verification.
So he's like, interesting, yes, I'm seeing it. I'm in. Let's get you on a boat back.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Paquipquineo was like, holy shit, it worked. So King Philip is like, absolutely. I even wrote in my notes, yes, King, absolutely. And now here's something that's kind of fun about understanding history when you've read enough of it, like I have, and now you have kind of by force because of our podcast.
Which is, it's actually crazy.
Whenever someone mentions that a person is handsome, like in a historical record, two things are happening. One of two things are happening. You're going to rethink everything you've ever read in history when I tell you this, okay? I've never dropped this truth bomb before. When people are like, this person's handsome, they are trying to, A, say, who cares how qualified they are? Look at that face! Or B, what they're trying to say is, he wasn't so hideous it changed how you thought about him, comma, so he was handsome, right?
Oh!
Because it's like, well, we can be mean and awful and suspicious of ugly people. Those are witches. This guy's handsome, right?
Okay,
But
okay.
sometimes, and I think it's way more of A in this case.
Yes.
Because not only does King Philip say, Paquipquineo, you gorgeous, gorgeous, brilliant man who speaks two
Who's
languages.
never done anything wrong in his entire life.
Correct. And I
Yeah.
was the first to say that.
Yes, and I was there when you first said it.
I'm now also the first to say, you are the new viceroy. Yep.
Kings just be out here doing shit.
Correct. In fact, his new title officially, let me see here. You're the new godson of the viceroy of New Spain. So when you get to New Spain, let your godfather know you're his new godson. But your new godfather is the viceroy of Spain, which makes Paquipquineo essentially, especially in the world of New Spain, which is what you call Mexico, Cuba, the Caribbean, like all these Spanish colonies, makes them essentially like Spanish royalty in the Americas.
What?
And they're like, you get on that boat, Paquipquineo. And he's like, are you bringing me back to the Chesapeake? Are you bringing me back to the Tidewaters? And they go, you're definitely sailing across the ocean. And so Paquipquineo gets on a boat and sails to the Caribbean.
Yeah, there
and
it
then
is. Okay.
lands in Veracruz, where he meets his new godfather.
Okay.
Who he's like, hello, Paquipquineo, was it? Well, I'm not going to say that.
I'm going to call you Pete.
So my name is Luis de Velasco. So your name, Paquipquineo, is Don Luis de Velasco.
What?
Which might have been a really cool honor at the time, but in American English and in 2025,
Can you spell that for me?
is hilarious. What part?
The beginning part that he adds.
D-O-N space
Oh, Don. Okay.
Luis
Okay.
de Velasco.
What is he, the Don of a mafia?
Right. And Paquipquineo, which is the name I'm going to keep calling him by. But Paquipquineo's Wikipedia name is Don Luis, in case you're like, what the?
up.
It's weird. Listen, there's Catholicism all over
Wikipedia.
this. Well,
I think we could probably change that, actually.
probably.
'Cause I think we could log in.
probably. You know I'm not going to create an account, but
No.
I'll give you my notes. I mean, you have them.
Yeah. I sure do.
And so he's like, hey, Godfather Luis de Velasco, I would like to go back to the Chesapeake
home.
to convert everyone to Catholicism. And Luis de Velasco, the viceroy of New Spain, is like, yeah, 100%. Yeah. You kind of just got here, so we'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
But 100%.
I'll show you around.
Right. So here's something that's really interesting, too. Veracruz, which is on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico.
Crazy that this man has a name Veracruz and he can't pronounce Paquipquineo.
They're in the port of Veracruz.
Oh, okay.
With Luis de Velasco,
Velasco.
who finds Paquipquineo too hard to say.
Either way, shut the fuck up.
So they go from Veracruz to Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we're just going to kick it here for a little bit as like grandpapa does these things, or godpapa does the things that I need to do. And then we'll get some people together and we'll sail up the coast and whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Paquipquineo, just like make yourself at home. But Mexico City, do you know what it used to be before it was Mexico City?
No.
It was the Aztec capital of
Right.
Tenochtitlan.
Okay. Yes.
So of the entire population of Mexico City, it is 20% Spanish white, 10% enslaved African, and 70% indigenous Aztec. And the Spanish hold all of the wealth and hold the center of the city where you're not allowed to go to unless you're Spanish.
Talking about the City of Gold from National Treasure.
No, that's El Dorado.
No.
The City of Gold?
There's the one in National Treasure. Like 2? National Treasure 2? It was like, I don't know. I'll look it up.
Are you talking about the Disney movie Road to El Dorado?
No, I am not talking about the Disney movie Road to. Although that's who Casey and I should be for Halloween, those two guys.
I don't know if I can handle the sexual tension and not be part of it.
We can make you the woman.
Okay, thanks. I've always kind of wanted like a little slit dress.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Show a little leg, and they're like, put it away. And it's like, it's a weird tan line, but it's natural.
Wait a minute.
A weird tan line, but it's natural.
It's natural somehow. You were not ever naturally supposed to be in that climate.
Right.
Yeah.
So Paquipquineo is walking around, and he's this man of both worlds, accessible to both, accepted by none, right?
Right.
So he speaks Spanish. He's the godson of the viceroy, not a Spaniard.
Yeah.
Has ability to enter the center of the city that the
Yeah.
Spanish control, but his people aren't there.
Yeah.
But also, the people outside of the gate have way more in common with his people,
Yes.
but are also still not his people, right?
Yes.
Like, if you're an enslaved African, like, part of your story is shared with Paquipquineo because you were both taken from your
Yeah.
home.
But in
the-
this situation,
right,
Paquipquineo is
you have an
privileged,
education,
kind
you
of,
have
yeah.
food, you
Yeah.
have people checking in on it, you have safety,
They
right?
taught you their language. Yeah.
Right. You're not necessarily involved in like manual labor. My story will be nameless as an
Right.
enslaved
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
And then that's also different than the indigenous people around them because they're like, our home's gone. Like you're trying to get back to a home that you believe still exists in some form.
Right.
Our home's gone. We are living in the ruins of what was our home under new masters.
Yeah.
But at this time, Paquipquineo is like, okay, it's not just the sins of the old world. It's the sins of these people.
Yeah.
The way these people structure society
It's
is
fucked up.
corrupt and like abusive, and it's bad. And so Paquipquineo dies. No, he gets really close though. He gets really close.
God, I was like, great, Jesus Christ, you can't do that to me.
Well, there's just not a lot of surprises early on. There's a lot of, oh no, like that's awful, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But there's not a little jump scare. He gets deadly ill.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And let's give you some dates now.
'Kay, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
there's a lot of them at the start.
Excellent.
1561, he's kidnapped.
Okay.
1562, Spain.
'Kay.
1562, so same year, from Spain then to Mexico City. Okay.
Okay.
So then he's walking around 62 and 63. This is when he gets sick. There's not medicine in the way anyone would understand it today.
Well,
There's-
people clearly don't understand it today.
Feel free to speak your mind on that.
The way some of the Maha Republicans are like, what if we just dosed ourselves with some of like an innocuous vaccine so that our body could build up stuff to fight the illness when it comes? And everyone's like, yes, that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
The only thing that I'm clinging to when it comes to hope, when it comes to modern American like healthcare systems,
Yeah.
in Texas communities where measles spread,
Right.
measles vaccines skyrocketed. So everyone gets to be a vaccine critic or skeptic until you're legitimately
They
afraid.
faced with it. Yeah.
The immunocompromised in your community are now sick, and so now maybe you get to be a little less theoretical about it, and you're going to get your own kids inoculated, which is like so beyond selfish, but it's okay. They
Yeah.
go to church.
Yeah. They have Jesus.
I'm going to be pretty critical of Catholicism in this episode, just so
I don't know if you've picked up on that yet. Some
I'm
people
not
just
sorry.
aren't following the teachings.
Right.
And were taught the teachings.
Yeah, 100%. We can kind of
So,
quote
yeah,
it still.
yeah.
Do you know who else was taught the teachings? Paquipquineo.
Yeah, I was gonna
Very
say, yeah.
good. We're never too far away from the story
No,
this
hell yeah.
episode. He gets sick.
Okay.
There's like not a hospital to go to.
Right.
And so he's just kind of like dying in the center of the city. And the Catholic friars are like, Paquipquineo, do you know what would make you feel better?
As if you sold your soul to Jesus Christ.
How did you know they were going to baptize him? How the fuck did you know?
It seems like the obvious
They're
answer.
like, this is nothing. It's a white cloth. It's just a wet cloth. I baptize you in the name of the It's still just a wet cloth. Shh, 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 shh.
Nothing's wrong.
Right. Paquipquineo survives. Like, they're so convinced he's going to die, they baptize him on his deathbed, and he survives.
Against his will, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think.
Well, there's
I
a
think so
language
little bit.
barrier.
I also think there's a decent chance, because this will surprise you, none of the Spanish really cared to write down what Paquipquineo thought.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
could
fair.
see Paquipquineo being like, this little bath means legitimately nothing.
I have
and
no
get
idea what
some-
you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if I do, I don't believe it.
Yes.
But I know it means a lot to you. And if I do it, you will send me home, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd bathe in front of 100 people if it gets me home
He
faster,
would
you know?
bathe maybe in lizards.
I wouldn't. I would not. I'd say, fuck you, you lizard
So
king.
there is.
How did I get into the basement of the Denver International Airport? How did I get here?
You don't even know my name.
Hard in our dust.
I'm the motherfucking lizard king. It's an Office reference.
And so he makes this miraculous recovery, and all the friars are like, brilliant! He's a pure soul sent to us by Jesus to help us enslave the Native Americans of North America. And Luis de Velasco, grandpapa, godpapa, is like, amazing. Luis actually dies.
Oh, he actually dies.
Godpapa dies.
Yeah, okay.
And while funny,
That's actually the best solution I could have come up with.
actually, it's the worst.
Okay.
Because he was like,
ruling, kind of.
Yeah, he's like, Paquipquineo, I just got to figure out some of this stuff. We'll get some people together.
And then
I'm
we'll
going to send it
go.
to you. Now it's like he finally got in good with the boss, and then the boss gets transferred. He now needs to like figure out some.
Transferred to hell?
Yes. Yes. But he needs to now figure out some way to like get himself to the Chesapeake.
Right.
And he needs some new authority to do it. Because the kind of ship you would need to take it, all of those ships are under Spanish authority.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just charter a boat or whatever.
Yeah.
So Luis de Velasco, godpapa, dies in 1864.
Okay.
A man Paquiquineo did not know 3 years earlier. And his death
yeah,
now
that's
means
wild.
he's trapped there.
Oh my God.
Not only did he not know him 3 years ago, he's named after him.
According to Wikipedia, anyway.
So 1564, Viceroy dies. Paquipquineo is just stuck in Mexico City.
Oh.
And he just kind of has to kick it there for another year. He's like the godson, and
Yeah.
he's like an indigenous person who speaks Spanish and like an indigenous language, so that's helpful. But like, it's not like there's
An indigenous
one...
language is not
Right,
relevant
we're
here.
in central
yeah.
Mexico and you speak Algonquin.
Yeah.
But like, we'll keep you around, and like, it's probably messed up for us to like enslave you or whatever, but you're going to kick it around for a little bit. And he does
Okay.
for an entire year.
Wow.
And then the governor of La Florida, the Spanish colony
Right.
of Florida, Governor Pedro Menendez, is like, we must continue to spread the word of God. I'm pretty sure we can get to the Pacific if we just go a little bit further north.
You guys don't even know.
It's like such a goddamn Ponzi scheme. Like,
That's so multi-level marketing.
yes. I had so many points in this episode. It's like, it's not even worth figuring out what the villain's motives are, because it oftentimes is all the above. I'd love to find a route to China.
Yeah.
I would love to convert some people. I'd also
love to kill some people. Yeah.
And if I get personally enriched in the process, in fact,
Great.
if that's maybe the only thing that happens,
That's
well, I
good.
tried. You
Yeah.
know, you miss 100% of the wealth you don't steal from others.
Exactly. And I always say that.
We say as two people who bought lotto
Yeah.
tickets.
Let me check on my
Go ahead
lotto,
and check real quick.
lotto ticket status.
Sometimes the idea of comparing the numbers on the lotto ticket to the winning numbers is too much.
Yes.
So I just Google Powerball winner Colorado, and if there's not a news article that says winning ticket sold in Colorado, I like don't even really check. Like, of course, like I kind of do.
No,
but
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
the system will tell you instantly
Yes.
if a ticket
If
registers.
you won. Yeah.
So Governor Pedro Menendez of the Spanish colony of La Florida is like, hey, King Philip, I'm pretty sure there's a river to China. And I think that river also could get us to South America. I don't know. We don't know what the world looks like on that side of things. But like, we're pretty sure there's a river. And then it's just like, oh, South America and China.
Oh my
They're like right
God,
there. And I would like to go explore it. And also they become Catholic in the
Obviously.
process. And King Philip is like,
Dr.
how do they
Doofenshmirtz.
know that that's my thing? It's like every time someone needs to do something,
They're going to convert more people to
And-
Catholicism.
and it's like money, we're not doing anything with it. We stole it off of the back of like laborers that we never paid fairly, and
Yeah.
many of them are enslaved, which is totally different than today's modern economic system. Take this money. That's a vanity project. Let's go to the moon. And, and also, I probably believe in God if that helps smooth things down.
It always does in America.
Sometimes I have to remember we're a podcast, and my camera work goes largely underappreciated from others.
Yeah, we get several hundred.
And so King Philip is like, hold on, I think a couple years ago I acquired something that's going to help us with this. I think, I'm pretty sure, and I've thought about him every night since, there's a handsome man.
boy, yeah.
And he's probably, 15 now? 16? Perfect age to go on another overseas adventure. Go grab Paquipquineo from Mexico City, bring him to Florida, get your crew together, get up there. Get me China, Catholics, or something. Get me
China, Catholics, or something.
Get me what's good.
Yeah.
You know? And that gets us to the next chapter.
You know you have
to
a
Florida.
problem when you're not getting your own Catholics. You're buying your own Catholics.
That's when you know, oh, I really got to quit.
Oh, shit.
And so Paquipquineo
I feel
gets
so
ferried.
good about that reference. Thank you.
No one else is going to get it.
No one.
But
No,
you
I
did
know.
a great job.
I know. I just need you to acknowledge it, and then I'm good.
It's one of those memes that is so true at its core. You can use it for anything else.
Yeah.
Much like the Cerulean speech from
Yes,
The Forest Brother.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Are we close to a break?
Yeah, actually,
okay, cool.
we just started the chapter
Excellent.
to Florida. We can pause right now. So Paquiquineo was like, hell yeah, what's good, Governor Pedro Menendez?
Get your tits out.
I'm baptized Catholic Paquiquineo, lover of all things Spanish and
Catholic.
colonization and Catholic.
And slave.
And I am so excited for you. You're going to see my home country. And here's the thing about Paquiquineo. First, you need to remember that, like, if he's 13 in 1861 when he's first kidnapped, it's 1865 now in the story. So he's 17.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he be
Yikes.
lying.
Yeah.
He be lying.
Yeah.
He's
your grant's like, I have experienced this. He's lying.
in his defense, he's like, I'll say whatever the fuck you want me to say to return me to my parents.
I would as well.
Right.
To
so
be fair. So
he's like, yeah.
Or at least someone that speaks my language.
He's like, we sail to China on the weekends all the time. Everyone, and there's so
I'm
much gold
obsessed
over
with
there.
that.
And they're honestly yearning
have
for a
cities
new
made of
religion.
gold.
Yeah. And there's so much food that a child can feed themselves without assistance. It's just like a land of plenty. And for the Spanish, who had found truly kind of like unrivaled natural resources
Yeah.
and a population they had absolutely no qualms massacring in the process to get those,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, yeah, that makes sense. That's largely
Let's
been
go there.
that's been largely our experience in the Americas so far. And so
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So Pedro Menendez puts him on a boat with 20. The quote was 20 friars and soldiers. I don't know if that's 10 and 10. I don't know if
That's
everyone's
just 10,
pulling
that's a
double duty.
Friar and a soldier.
Correct. Judge, jury, and executioner kind
Yeah.
of style or whatever. And they sail from La Florida.
Okay.
And Paquiquineo is super excited. And then a storm hits. And they get
Oh.
cast off course. And they're like, that was super inconvenient, but I'm pretty sure it's that way.
And it's not.
And then they sail some more and they get hit by a second storm. And at
Yep.
this point are deeply, deeply disoriented.
Yep.
And so they decide to turn right and sail to Spain
What?
because they're going north.
Well, they think they're going north.
No, and this is, I'm so glad you asked
Okay.
that.
The sun should tell them
Yeah,
which way is which.
they understood navigation because of the stars. Like they are able
Okay.
to navigate, and those are fixed place things.
Right.
And even more importantly, they specifically know where Spain is based off those stars. They're like,
Okay,
we can get
okay,
there.
okay.
The Atlantic seaboard of the United States is very much unmapped. It's basically a person that like had squiggled down a sheet of paper.
Is it
and at
Amerigo
times-
Vespucci yet?
What the fuck?
Amerigo Vespucci.
Oh, what America?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But great question.
Thank you.
It's like basically like a
a
squiggly,
squiggly
line with
line.
some divots, and they're like gold
That's
question
it.
mark, and then they just kind of draw a line through it, and they're like China that way.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we're probably super close to the Chesapeake, but we don't know. And Paquiquineo's tribe, it's not like they were building huge ocean-going vessels, so
Yeah,
he
he
can't be like,
most
oh
likely doesn't
no,
know
I
that.
know
Yeah.
where we're at. Like it's just around the
Yeah.
corner. They sail all the way back to Spain. So Paquiquineo is now on a different continent again, further away and far from home. This week's topic, very on theme today for me.
The way Grant keeps looking at the camera.
Okay, what did I say? Yep. So they say all.
Wait, no, I haven't picked my story yet. I thought I
Good.
picked my story, and then someone said something, and I went, and
Who's someone?
then I forgot about it again.
Great.
so.
You got to put it in a notes app.
Well, then another person said something, and then I was like, wait a minute. And so I have two ideas. I have three ideas, and I remember two of them.
I have concepts of a
I
plan.
have concepts of ideas.
Our children love to say concepts of a plan. It's so funny. And I'm also like, stop quoting that drag queen, y'all.
I can't not hear it as a drag queen now.
Right.
Have you seen the guy that does it as if he's like a gay man talking about like an ex or something?
Yeah, I've seen Trump a couple times.
There's a specific creator. I'll send it next time I see it. It's so funny.
Please do.
Yes, I will.
And then next time we're on like Patreon or whatever, we can come up with what would Donald Trump's drag names have been, you know?
I'm going to start writing things down.
Okay, so he is now back in Spain.
Okay.
They land back in Spain. The friars are there. They're like, that was tough. My goodness, like we almost drowned at sea. Thank
Good
God.
thing everyone's baptized.
Yeah, thank good everyone's baptized,
Yeah.
and I know exactly how to get home to Spain,
Yeah.
right? It's like that thing where I can get anywhere I have been once, but I have to take the exact
same route.
I
Yep.
took to get there. So Paquipquineo kicking it with the fires, but Governor Menendez back in Florida and now also Havana, Cuba is like, what the hell? I did not give you permission to return to Spain. I wanted gold.
Or Chinese.
Or Catholicism. Let's just go ahead and find something. You quit. You're quitters. Get your asses back to Havana. I need to yell at some people. And they kind of do. So Paquipquineo goes off the coast of the United States all the way back to Spain, and then from Spain all the way back to Havana, Cuba again, where he's again going to hang out for a little bit. He is now going everywhere except the Chesapeake Bay.
That's wild to go back and forth that many times.
Here's what I wrote. I get so sassy when I write these notes sometimes. Governor Menendez of Florida and Cuba goes, what the hell? What happened to the hot, handsome, native, Spanish-speaking Catholic convert that we stole from his community who was going to lead my mission to the Chesapeake? I'm a good Catholic, and these are the things that I need to do.
Good.
So he hauls them all back to, ironically, St. Augustine, Florida in 1568.
Good God.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I skipped it. Oh, I forgot. Okay, even better. Okay. So they're in St. Augustine, Florida.
Right.
Now, in their second trip to Florida, because St. Augustine, Florida is basically the only Spanish settlement in Florida not failing from attacks from indigenous people and living in a swamp.
The Florida man will get you.
Right. The original fort they had left out of was St. Helena, which is in modern day Jacksonville. It's like the Bay of Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, for fuck's
like
sake.
the NFL team Jacksonville Jaguars, where the dumb guy was from in The Good Place. That's where Paquiquineo was.
And he already has these like grand concepts about capitalism and slavery and like a Western dominated culture. Yeah, that's a wild place to end up.
So they're in St. Augustine, Florida. He's now 20. It's 1568. He's been gone for 7 years. They're like, okay, yep. This isn't your home, but we're getting closer. We're going to send you. So Governor Menendez in Havana is like, okay, lots of food, huge river, get to China, Catholics probably, or at least personal wealth. Good for you. This is where I put Paquiquineo is 100% lying about his hometown. He just wants to get home.
Yes.
So I put good for you, King. BK, do crime, tell lies, extract revenge. And then in parentheses, charge phone, eat hot chip.
Exact revenge.
And so it takes them some time because A, these communities are so small. B, these communities are so spread out. And they're like kind of impoverished still because these settlements aren't designed to like build the most nurturing, supportive environment for life. They're set up to extract wealth.
Right.
And the support of life is like what has to happen so we can continue to extract wealth. And so it takes them some time to like get a boat together, get supplies together, get a crew together.
Sharks.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. You need an investment.
Yes. And in 1570, 9 years after being kidnapped.
No.
And at least the third time he has been promised he's being brought to the Chesapeake.
Oh, Jesus.
He gets on a boat in St. Augustine, Florida, and they start sailing up the Atlantic coast again.
Oh my gosh. That must be such a hard trip to be on too,
Yes.
because you're like, who's died? That's like almost a decade. Like things have changed.
Correct.
You've changed.
Correct. Like you're a grown adult now.
And they've most likely changed.
13 to 20, they might not be alive
Yeah,
anymore.
genocide has happened.
It's not like there's like a newspaper that's giving you updates on this
That's
part
true,
of the world,
yeah.
you know? On their way up the coast, they stop in South Carolina, where there is this Spanish like priest there trying to run like a little mission or whatever. And Paquiquineo's like head friar, Father Seguro, tells him the whole plan.
Yeah.
And this priest in South Carolina is like, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, I icon shit. Absolute icon.
He's like, you think you're going to go up there and find a pathway to China, and you're going to find
people who want to be Catholic?
gold, and
Yeah.
you're going to be, they're attacking us out here. You're not that far away, and they're attacking us out here, and you are believing the kidnapped indigenous translator who has been for 9 years trying to
Held
lure
against
you
his
back,
will. Yeah.
and you believe him. And Father Seguro is like, Paquipquineo is my friend, and you will not say that about him. I knew his god, Papa. Don Luis would never do that to us.
What? It's the king.
Everyone, get on the boat. Do not talk to my Paquipquineo again. We're leaving. I didn't know the Spanish Catholics out here were losers.
This is mind-boggling to me.
Right. A literal Spaniard is like, don't go further.
Don't do that. And he's
Have
like,
you written this down? Write it down and look at it. And then you let me know.
and then read it and see if it seems like a good idea then. That's wild to me that he's like, no, he's my friend.
Right.
Not someone who's been held here against his will for a decade.
If he's lying, then we're all here. He's not lying. He's telling the truth. He's, everything I've done so far is right and correct,
yeah.
and not a waste of time.
And how dare you insinuate otherwise?
You don't know Paquipquineo you don't know Don Luis like I do. At this point in the story, this Spanish priest in South Carolina is the horror movie equivalent of the old person on a front porch being like, I wouldn't go up that road if I was you. Last group that went up never came back. And they're like, haha, we're young and we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's a Spanish boat, so it's like,
yeah. Really slowly. And you're watching that movie for 5 years.
in a couple days when the wind changes directions, we are so out of here.
Don't come on my boat in the meantime.
100%. And so they sail into the Chesapeake. Paquipquineo is like, take this left, goes up like an estuary of the Chesapeake because it's a massive bay. And there's the, like, I think it's the Potomac that's in that area too, right? Like that's the massive river, but all these estuaries, like everything kind of flows down there. And he's like, take this estuary. They sail up, and the Spanish reports is all along these rivers, thriving indigenous villages, right?
Right.
Like there's a shit ton of life.
Right.
And they pull up into this village.
Okay.
And they're greeted, but not by Paquipquineo's family.
Okay.
Next chapter, sweet home,
Alabama.
No, thank God, no, we're not in Alabama.
Okay. It's like, oh no.
It's actually just titled Home Sweet Home.
Okay.
Paquipquineo lands this boat with all of these Spaniards, not in his home village, because it's not right next to the river.
Right.
But in like a friendly, neighborly alliance community.
Yeah.
They're like, welcome. We can't believe you're still alive. We're shocked you're here. Of course we'll help you. Like, rest up here.
Especially because none of the fucking white people seems to have bothered to learn the language.
Right.
Yeah.
At all. They're like, you're completely
God, I want to see
that
like conversation they had while the fucking Spanish priest is
because you know it's all in Algonquin.
Oh, yes, 100%.
And they don't, and they're
they
like,
can't,
so glad we have Paquipquineo.
You know, it's a translator.
Sorry, they're like, so glad we have Don Luis.
Yes,
you know, all the indigenous are like, Paquipquineo, what's your plan for these people?
Yeah. Do you want me to kill that guy for you? Because I'd kill that guy for you.
Retweet.
Excellent.
And so Paquipquineo and these Spaniards kick it in this village for a little bit. And he's like, okay, y'all, time to go meet my parents.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll find people who want Jesus. I promise. Like, but just come with
for
us.
sure. 100%. Yeah.
And so they start like walking through the forest, and they have to take like canoes because it's like a swamp.
Yeah.
And these 20 Spanish fire soldiers, some combination of the two, are like, hey, Paquipquineo, and first off, as is your right, King, we totally trust you.
Yeah.
But you mentioned to us that
river
there
to
was
China.
a giant river. And I'm walking right now. Right now, I'm on my
walking,
feet.
yeah.
So,
I would like to be in a boat.
right. So I'm curious as to where this is going to go. And I'm hoping it ends at a big river.
I only was doing upper body day at the gym. I didn't think I would need that lower body.
I thought I had to do swing from rope on boat.
Yes.
Not hike into middle of swamp.
Yeah, I would have totally told my trainer to go a different way if I had known.
They're also like, and again, so not mad.
So not mad.
I'm sure I'm just not seeing it yet.
Yeah.
You mentioned this was a land of abundance and we're starving.
And I'm not seeing any abundance.
Right, especially since the Chesapeake has been in a drought for 6 years at this point.
Oh.
Something Paquipquineo had no ability to know about.
Yes,
because
true.
he's been
yeah.
gone for 9 years.
Yeah, okay.
But
That's
like
fair.
the drought is such that like the Chesapeake wasn't like a quote land of abundance before. Like obviously it was enough to support like established human cultivation and civilization and stuff like that.
What state is that now?
Virginia.
Yeah,
it's the
it's
eastern shore of Virginia. Right. Like you can like it's not Siberia by
Yeah.
any means, right? But you're not Adam and Eve reaching up and grabbing
Yes.
an apple.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You're gonna starve.
Yes.
If you don't have the skills for the land. Okay. I want to make sure I say this right. So I'm not going back to my notes. Yep, great, said it. So they hike in for 10 miles where they reach a village, one that Paquipquineo has been searching for. And it is rough because, okay, yep, I said the drought. Okay, so they go 10 miles in. They're like, this is the place. These people will help us out. This isn't my hometown yet. We're close, but we can like set up camp here.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple of days. Paquipquineo hangs out with them for like 2-3 days.
You guys can just kick it here for
Right,
a while. And don't
right.
worry, we'll get around to getting
Right.
you to China.
No, legitimately, he's like, well, let's go ahead and build that church. Let's go ahead and start building that church. So they're like falling trees. They're like getting it ready.
Paquiquineo knows what
Yes.
the fuck he's doing.
And now that it's all started, he's like, okay, it looks like the church is coming along. It'll be ready soon. I'm going to go get all those people I said
that
want
want
Jesus.
to go to the church.
I'll be back. And they're like, good guy, Paquipquineo.
Yeah, he's just really helping us out here.
Always looking out for us.
Because I didn't want to walk all that way, if I'm
Right,
being honest.
Exactly. And he's like, it'll be faster if I just go alone.
Yes.
And they're like, we so get that.
Yes, 100% it will be.
Yes,
yeah,
you
that's
are right.
me when people go ahead on hikes. I'm like, no, absolutely.
Just airdrop me the photos. I'll get to where I get.
It'll be fine. I'll meet you back at the car.
Friends, that really is the truth about hiking. Like, no one's watching you. Like, no one's
And
watching
also, if you're
you.
going on a steep hike, stop thinking about social norms and the fact that you want to beat people, because that will bring you no joy. There will be some fucking trail runner
Right.
that will lap you.
We're all breathing heavily like my body isn't the body I thought I had, right? Like
We're
that's
really
just a part
just
of it.
here but for a moment.
Correct.
So just enjoy it.
Including these fucking Spanish fries.
Yeah, they're building a church.
Because Paquipquineo is like not coming back. And also these other indigenous villages around us stopped visiting the day he left.
Yeah, because they probably knew exactly what Paquiquineo
Right.
was
He
gonna
might have
do.
even told
He
them.
might have even told them, yeah.
And we're hungry. Like, we don't know how to survive in this land that's
Poor
not of
baby.
abundance and also not China.
And also not with people that are willing to help us learn the native area.
Right. And
Aw.
no one wants to read this book that says treat your neighbor like how you want to be treated. Like,
They don't
I should be treated
understand that
like
we
a king.
kind of want to enslave them and maybe kill them and steal everything they own.
They just don't want to see white men succeed in this country no more.
It's true. It's true. There's no male loneliness epidemic. There
Right.
is only colonialism.
Right. So they send out 2 Spanish friars. They're like, go find him. Maybe he's hurt. And then Paquipquineo returns to the village like a day later, dressed like one of the friars because pow, he murdered them.
Icon shit.
And they're like, Paquipquineo, you're back. Where did you get Father So-and-so's robe? Oh, you're stabbing me. And Paquipquineo and his fellow villagers, who have not seen him in almost a decade, massacre
so he gets
everybody.
he just goes. I mean, he does.
He
Hold
literally
true.
goes, gets his
Yeah.
dad and brings them back. And they're like,
He's like, I'm gonna bring them back for the church.
Correct,
And I mean, they
100%.
arguably came back and probably saw the makings of a church.
right. And so this leads to a great question. Because so there's 2021 people on this trip.
Okay.
I say 2021 because there's a small child named Alonso de Olmos.
Okay.
Olmos. Olmos.
Okay.
And sometimes in historical records, if you were too small to pull your own weight, they didn't
didn't
count
include you.
as a person. In
It's
the
like
head
being
count.
on an airplane.
Yeah, if you can sit on the lap, you don't count.
Yeah, it's fine.
So they killed 19 or 20 people. My read is to kill 20 people. Alfonso de Olmos is the, I said it right the first time. Alonso is the
Alonso.
21st.
Okay.
Okay?
So he didn't die?
Because he's a child.
Okay, so
and
they didn't kill him.
Paquipquineo is like, we're not going to kill a child.
We're going to kidnap them.
It's more like... You don't have, it's more like you don't have any parents to come pick you up, but if someone wants you, they can take you. It's kind of more.
We're going to kidnap you, not because we killed your entire family,
Right.
but because someone could want you.
And so now gets into a tricky part. Because obviously, listener, we're all rooting for Paquipquineo. And also, technically, by some definitions, he's just committed a massacre.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
against unarmed religious figures.
Who arguably have enabled other massacres, and
You're 100%
that's hard.
right. Thank you.
They're all kind of villains.
Like, I actually think Paquipquineo is like, it's one of those situations where it goes so beyond like what the definition could provide. Like, this context is so important, but he like definitely does commit a massacre. And the Catholic Church definitely does recognize these people as martyrs and victims of a massacre to this day. Like, the official Catholic Church, the Diocese of Richmond is like, and let us not forget the first 20 Catholics to be murdered in
here.
Virginia. Don't ignore the context. They were murdered.
They were murdered.
Alonso de Olmos request of Paquipquineo that the dead Spanish are buried holding crosses. And Paquipquineo is like 100% for sure, because he's about to erase any proof that they ever existed. Everything they built gets torn down and burnt down. There's not like markers on their grave you can hold across, because we're not making a cemetery for you.
Oh,
Flat land. We are erasing everything. I have brought you 10 miles away from the coast and murdered you in a random forest.
Like,
no one is ever finding you.
it's just kind of like hard to be mad, you know? Like, I appreciate that these men were murdered, and that absolutely sucks. And also the word appreciate was
a choice.
But like, knowing the atrocities that have yet to befall the like indigenous people to America, or what will be known as America, like, yeah.
And the funny thing too is like, you actually, if we are treating this like that classic trolley car problem of like, if you pull the switch, only one person dies, but you're the one that kills them versus more deaths,
die if you don't pull the switch. Yeah.
The thing is, Paquipquineo doesn't need, quote, like the benefit of hindsight. Paquipquineo knows what's coming.
Because
he
he's
has
seen it.
He has seen it.
That's actually a really
He has seen it over and over again in every place that the Spanish get to, and also back home where the Spanish have been forever. He's like, this is in their soul. It's not like a weird fluke that happened in Mexico or Havana or Florida.
It's like they're intentionally doing this everywhere. That's
This
got to be a
is
terrifying
who
experience.
They are. Also, 9 years, I have had enough time to figure out how to kill you, where to kill you, and like
9
where
years.
to hide.
You gave that what would have been a child a decade to plot his revenge.
Correct.
As he got older and more mature.
Because by 1570, he's now 22. This is a grown adult man.
Yeah.
But like, kind of to some degrees, this is like peak physical performance. Sorry if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, he is like absolutely stepping into like the most strength his body can
will
produce
ever have.
is in this moment.
Yeah.
And he fucking murders the shit out of some Spanish friars.
I just like there's a poetic nature to him completely erasing them. And I appreciate that like, or I understand that sucks.
Right.
As like an individual person to have your history erased.
But the tough thing too is the people he erased, their individual histories aren't erased. The Spanish Church, the Catholic Spanish Church, knows who dies up there. They're remembered today. And also
as martyrs.
Yes. And there's another element too where it's like, and now this gets into like, I think some like hotter water, but like, what protections are owed to missionaries? They're not humanitarians. They're not here to give out clean drinking water and medicine for the children.
Just for the sake of doing that.
And you just do what you need. It is a absolutely quid pro quo agreement.
It's a bit of a guilt
to
trip.
where you will abandon your long-held faith and beliefs.
Your cultural beliefs.
Correct. You will allow me to fundamentally restructure your society. And I am to be treated harmless. I am laying the groundwork for a state that views the state and religion as one entity.
Yeah.
I am laying the initial railroad tracks, the initial road. I am to be treated as a non-combatant. I'm the scouting party for an empire that has consumed everything in front of it so far.
And I'm also effectively erasing your culture for future generations.
Right. And I'm not remorseful about it.
No, because you weren't with Jesus.
Like, hate to say it, if they wouldn't have died if they didn't wander in there. They also wouldn't have died if they hadn't wandered in there 9 years earlier
Well, what
and
were they
kidnapped
wearing?
someone. So great that you mentioned that.
Oh, God.
Because Alonso de Olmos escapes.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm very, very scared.
Oh, here's a fun picture of Paquipquineo.
Iconic, incredible.
Standing 10 toes down on business.
Yeah, that man has no regrets.
Also, that's a 22-year-old.
Yep.
That is a
he
is prime.
he has almost no fat on that body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I said all that part. That was our discussion about what is a massacre. They're all like, hey, where's Alonzo? What's going on? We can't seem to find him anywhere.
Wait, who asked this? Didn't he kill everybody?
Everyone but Alonzo, who's a child.
Yeah, so who's asking after Alonzo?
Paquiquineo.
Oh,
Because
Paquiquineo
after they're done
is.
burying everyone, they're
Okay.
like,
Oh, I
did
see.
anyone
Okay,
see a small Spanish child?
Because we didn't kill him intentionally.
Right, who is the only witness to our crimes? Because we can't find him anymore.
Given that you just showed me that picture, I'm certain that he told somebody.
It gets even like kind of, if it's an action movie, it's better. What about to happen next is going to be like tragic,
Okay.
but also classic. But then there's more interesting
I'll just
stuff.
sit down.
Paquipquineo murders them in like November, December of 1570, right? Basically, as soon
Okay.
as they arrive in the Chesapeake. Like February, March 1571, a Spanish supply ship arrives into the Chesapeake because it's pre-scheduled.
Yes.
They're like, at this point, you probably need more supplies, and we're the supplies.
Here we are. Yeah.
And so they pull into the Chesapeake, and they're like, this is weird. There seems to be no Spanish friars signaling for us to come to shore. But there are indigenous people staring at us from the shore wearing the clothing of some of these Spanish friars.
Oh.
And so the people on the Spanish ship are like, I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna go.
Because they are probably now friars.
Correct.
Because we're converting them.
Right. I'm not gonna go find out why those indigenous people are wearing Father Segura's clothes.
We don't need to ask.
We're just gonna stay on this boat and riddle up
Yep,
some things.
yep.
So the indigenous are like, fair, we'll come to you. And so
Oh my God.
So the indigenous launch an attack. But this is a big important thing to remember. They are in canoes not built for war, but for transportation.
And also probably not ocean travel or significant ocean
they're
travel.
able to get out to the boat,
Yes.
but like it's not like, I mean, this boat has fucking cannons, right? Like
boats with guns. Gunboats.
They do get on the boat, but they kind of lose. It's not like a massive fight, but they don't like take over the ship or like capture it or whatever.
Right.
In fact, the inverse happens. The Spanish capture, I believe it's 2 hostages. Did I put it all? Fantastic, amazing. The Spanish on the boat decide to stay, and they just, yep, okay, great. The attack happens. They low-key kind of win. They get 2 captives.
Who wins?
The Spanish on the boat win.
Oh, man.
And they take 2 indigenous hostages.
Okay.
And they're like, well, what's going on? And the indigenous are like, fine, we'll tell you. All your friends are dead. And they're like, everyone, they're like, well, they're in a village somewhere is this sickly little Spanish boy called Alonzo. And they're like, okay. We're going to grab him and then we're going to leave. And the indigenous people are like, great. And they do.
Oh my God.
And they go back to Florida where Governor Menendez is waiting.
No.
And they're like, yeah, what is my lover up to? He did what? He murdered a bunch of Spanish friars?
Oh, he had a lover.
Don Luis? No. He's just like my handsome friend, Don Luis.
My handsome friend. Okay.
He murdered a bunch of Spanish friars. And then they attacked the second boat. And Alonzo witnessed it all. And they're parading around like they're friars. We have to commit some more crimes then, gentlemen.
Oh my God.
And again, it's all happening in slow motion, right? It's
Yeah.
like 1570, the attack happens. 1571,
Crazy what
the
human nature
supply
does
ship.
when like there's nothing to police you.
Correct.
It's all violence.
I'm tired of drawing symbolisms to modern day America.
I fucking hate it.
So I called him Bob Menendez, who's absolutely the corrupt governor from New Jersey.
I was going to say, yeah.
Governor Pedro Menendez. Gathers 4 ships together, like 150 soldiers, which is not a small force at this time in this part of the world. Right? I mean, Europeans have been in this part of the world for less than 100 years, right?
Oh, wow,
a lot of the men are coming over like without families or anything.
Yeah.
It's a complicated time. Anyways, 150 men sail up
Yeah.
to the Chesapeake, and the Spanish don't have an appreciation for the Algonquin speakers of the Chesapeake Bay / Tidewater region.
Right.
They have some experience attacking the like Aztecs in central Mexico,
yeah.
which was an organized state.
Also just a very different society. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then around the Aztecs were a couple other like satellite states, smaller
Right.
indigenous nations, but like, you know, had like kind of like a centralized like governmental system or
Right.
whatever. They just sail fucking tits out into the Chesapeake Bay and they're like, fire! And
Jesus Christ.
they just kind of lose their mind. They attack a village, right? They
Okay.
kill a bunch of people, including like the leader of that village, take 13 of them hostage and bring them on board to their ship.
Well, teach them Spanish while you're at it.
too old.
I mean, me too.
The year's now 1572. The Spanish are like, they take 13 captives, and then they tell the rest of the indigenous on shore, they're like, deliver us Paquipquineo in 3 days, or we're going to murder all of these hostages. Right.
Ooh.
This again goes into the Spanish misconception about this region during this time.
Yeah.
It's not a centralized government.
I was going to say, yeah, you can't just demand that of anyone.
No.
Yeah.
It is very loosely a confederacy in the sense that, like, the thing they have in common is that they're not the Spanish shooting at us, right?
So what define a confederacy? Because I feel like I think of it as the South.
And that's a great way to learn about it too.
Okay.
I mean,
Don't talk about Grant right now.
There's two things usually that we'd think about: a federation or a federal system, and a confederation or a confederacy. Federation, really strong central government that will be making national decisions, and then states can make smaller decisions, kind of local flair.
Like what we do.
Yes,
now.
that's 100% what we do. In the South, the reason why the South was a confederacy was because they were afraid of a strong central government banning slavery. So when they broke away,
states agreeing.
It was basically states agreeing. It was like basically Mississippi and Alabama agreeing not to shoot each other.
Okay.
But like at certain points, the Confederacy didn't have the ability to like raise taxes during the Civil War or like draft people. And then the ironic thing is towards the end of the war when the Confederacy got like desperate, it ended up grabbing so much federal power. It was a more centralized government than the Union and Abraham Lincoln. And that's just like a fun flair of history.
I'm going to remember that forever. I want you to know.
You're welcome.
I'm going to use that next time I see some asshole flying a Confederate flag.
It's my heritage. Oh, so you do support a strong federal government then.
Yeah.
So these villages, these Algonquin speakers are in a confederacy. They're like, the thing we have in common is we're not Spanish.
Yes.
But whatever.
Yeah.
And so like the tribe they're attacking does not have Paquipquineo.
Yeah, and also probably doesn't know of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have an idea as to where he might usually go to.
There's gossip.
Right.
You know.
But it's not like there's like a mail system. Like
where they can get to him. Yeah.
Like not in the way.
Even if they go there, they can't demand him.
Right. They don't actually have any power over Paquipquineo either.
Tough. Yeah.
Right. And like even if Paquipquineo.
And there's no news to guilt everyone.
Right. Also, like, no offense to Paquipquineo, but like if they came to me and I was Paquipquineo in that situation, they're like, you got to come back. They took 13 people hostage. I'd be like, oh man,
that sucks for you.
Shit. Listen.
I'll help you burn or bury or whatever you want to do for them.
Hey, I want you to know they're already dead. Like there's, I know.
From what I've seen.
Right. I know the Spanish. Right now we have two choices in front of us: 13 dead bodies or 14 dead bodies. I think those are our two options. Paquipquineo doesn't get to have a cool kind of monologue like that because they can't find him. Like that's not like a thing that
and also they wouldn't have recorded that even if he did.
No, correct. Because later on Europeans will destroy the records of the indigenous. Yep.
I hate it here.
3 days pass.
Yeah.
Paquipquineo does not show up. Mm-hmm. Governor Menendez is like, okay, fine. If that's how you want to play it, I'm going to baptize these people. And then he kills them.
Okay.
He baptizes the 13 hostages. Plus 30 right now. It's not super graphic, but like I am going to mention death.
Murder.
Baptizes them. Hangs them from the riggings of the ship, so they hang down kind of like Christmas ornaments. Oof. Pulls their boats closer to the shore where these indigenous communities can see it. Fires on the indigenous people on the shore. They're like, these are your dead bodies. You are seeing it. You've seen what happened. We've now shot at you, killing dozens more.
Like, it's just like you're just a bad villain.
But they're good Catholics, and that's a really important thing to understand about the way Catholicism and colonization and empire building all work together in the.
We're doing it in the name of something that I can use as a scapegoat and not address my own moral questionability.
How many of us felt good in 2000? I mean, not me. I was right on this, but whatever. I was also like a shithead 12-year-old who was just anti-authoritarian. But like, how many American politicians or American voters felt good about conflict in Iraq because we're good Christians and didn't view Iraq as Christians, right? Sure, we're bringing unspeakable evils. Sure, 500,000 Iraqi civilians are going to die, but we are fighting for Christian democracy and they aren't either of those things. So their deaths are justified and warranted. And the perception of like an all-consuming power-hungry empire. That's what the Spanish do. They hang these handful of hostages, fire on everyone else on shore, and then leave. and never returned to the Chesapeake ever again.
Good riddance. At least.
Correct.
For the Spanish, let me be perfectly clear.
They also don't go back up to the Chesapeake because Florida is falling apart.
Oh no! What's changed? Is it not falling off? It's literally going to fall off the country. Fingers crossed. If you're in Florida, I'm sorry.
Your politics are tough right now.
Your politics are just really tough. And also, I personally hate the swampland because I own a small dog.
Since 2020, I have refused to travel to any tournament in Florida, and there are some quality tournaments there.
Good for you, because I don't want to go.
I'm not raising money to then spend it in Ron DeSantis' state. And I'm sorry, I have friends who coach in Florida, and they're fighting the good fight, and public education is important there. And I don't believe tourism tax dollars is needed to support that.
I only have so much capacity.
Right, when Atlanta is right there.
Yeah, get out.
So they go.
Did you see one of the whale sharks died? I think it was shortly after JD Vance was like in that area.
To mention JD Vance in that sentence was crazy. I did see the whale shark died. I did not know JD Vance got another one.
It had something to do with a politician. I think it was JD Vance. I could be 100% wrong, but let's live in this reality for a second. He's killed the Pope.
The whale shark jumping in front of the shot meant for Trump. Crazy.
No, there was only two whale sharks at the Atlanta Aquarium. I've always wanted to go to the Atlanta Aquarium.
Oh, have you never been?
No, I want to go
great.
so bad.
Sorry, it's great.
I know. Take me with you next time.
The whale sharks
please.
really are like, damn, that's a whale shark.
I know.
Damn.
And so the thing is, those whale sharks were like rescued out of like a really bad situation. So there's not going to be more whale sharks once that other one dies.
Right.
I also really want to see a manta ray in person. Anyway, continue your story.
Okay.
There's a whale shark.
There's not. It's state of Florida.
It's the state of Florida. That's crazy that we went from Florida to Atlanta.
What's crazy is they use the word we there, but you're right. It's crazy all the same.
You're sitting here, are you not?
So the Spanish returned to Florida. They're like, we can't go further north. That place in South Carolina is falling apart, right? Like
Everyone's
the Chesapeake
falling apart.
is clearly not a fan of us. The indigenous people of Florida keep attacking us. Also, so does the state of Florida, like the mosquitoes, the birds, the alligators, the sharks, whatever. Basically, they're only able to hold on to St. Augustine for a long time. It'll reestablish itself. But
also, sorry, the mosquitoes in Alaska are fucking crazy, by the way. I just need everyone to know that. My legs are like, there's a reason I'm wearing leggings. It's so that I don't itch myself right now.
Okay, Mo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is in the year like 1570. So I want you to fast forward 230 years to the early 1800s, like 1820, 1830.
Okay.
And the American government
Okay.
is forcing the Seminole tribe out of Florida and onto reservations.
Ugh.
And the Seminoles don't want to go and are
Is
armed
this-
conflict resisting.
Is this the Trail of Tears or is this earlier?
It's part of it. It's not the Trail of Tears,
Yeah.
but there's literally something called the Seminole Trail of Tears, which
Okay.
is something similar.
Yeah.
But there's on record, a U.S. cavalryman is speaking to one of his like superiors, and he's like, I don't know why we are spending so many Union boys' lives trying to force these people to go somewhere else.
Hey, LBJ, how many
Nothing-
boys you kid today?
Nowhere could
Yeah.
be worse than Florida.
It wasn't going where I thought it was.
he's like, they're in hell. Let them stay here.
And I've never related to a European during colonialism more, a
cavalrymen more.
U.S. cavalryman more.
So the Spanish leave the Chesapeake. Florida, they're really holding on to it, right? And in many ways, this is where you can close the book on Paquipquineo. We're not going to. Because this next chapter is titled The Sequel is Always Worse.
Oh,
So we last see Paquipquineo.
that could mean so many things in this situation.
You are right.
Oh,
You are correct.
God.
We last see Paquipquineo in the tidewaters of the
Okay.
Algonquin speakers in what is now Eastern Virginia
Okay.
in 1571. We're going to now jump forward 36 years to 1607
Wow. Okay.
with the establishment of Jamestown
Right.
and the arrival of the English, just kind of so happenstance in this exact part of the East Coast.
Okay.
They arrive, these English settlers arrive, they set up Jamestown,
Right.
and they're like, holy shit, we're so unprepared to live out here. quick, let's send out some hunting parties, also known as let's go steal from all these indigenous villages
Yep.
so we can support ourselves.
Because there's no fucking moral compass when there's no one to police you.
Correct. One of them gets captured, and that person's name is John Smith,
Shut the fuck up.
whose tale is retold in part in Pocahontas. See, John Smith is kidnapped by some indigenous people, and they pull him aside, and he finds out that he is now in a region known as the Powhatan Confederacy.
Okay.
So in the 36 years, we have gone from like a bunch of disparate tribes.
Where now they are acknowledging themselves as a European term.
Yes, I think it probably has to be explained. I think there's like some translation back and forth.
Okay.
But they're like, we're no longer just a series of like
We are
independent...
talking to each other and have established.
Right. We've gone from city-states Greek style to like a small regional working group, right?
Okay, yeah.
We're not on the warpath to conquer, but like we are coming together. We recognize we're
There's
going
a
to
council
face
somewhere.
some regional challenges,
Yes.
right? And in the Powhatan Confederacy, there is two leaders, kind of like a peace chief and a war chief.
Okay.
The peace chief deals with all stuff internal, right? Like internal bickering between different villages, right? Like kind of helps maintain the peace, like is kind of like
like
a
that.
moral compass.
Yeah.
And then the war chief is like, there's a threat. This is what we need to do to confront the threat, right?
I love that man and woman couple.
Right, 100%. Or these two men.
Just feels
But-
like Avatar. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
the way our group is developing a dangerous sign language for being gay. I need to get to the chief's name.
Okay.
How do I? Because I need to get to the chief's name because I can.
So
read.
you can work
Correct.
through it.
It's Chief Powhatan. Yes, you'll notice that he shares the same name as the Confederacy. He is known kind of legendarily as Chief Powhatan. That's not his indigenous name, but in a lot of the writings, that is how he is referred to. And
How is Pocahontas related to him?
we're gonna get to her
Okay, cool.
because I mentioned John Smith, so that's a great question.
Yeah.
Chief Powhatan is the peace chief. He's the internal peace chief. He's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
like the wisdom, the guidance, right? He's like the elder statesman, things like that.
Mm.
And then the other chief is Chief Paquipquineo. It's a very long name, but Paquipquineo is essentially what.
Paquipquineo.
And what happens is John Smith first gets interviewed by Paquipquineo, and John Smith is like, I'm trying to get to like the ocean and Catholics and,
And maybe a
whatever
couple
else.
Chinese people.
Right, like who
if
knows
we can-
gold if you got any.
Yeah.
And Paquipquineo is like, okay, great. My friends here, sorry, we're gonna take your weapons real quick. My friends here are gonna take you to a different village. And then he goes to a different village, John Smith does, meets Chief Powhatan, and like now John Smith is telling like an even wilder story because
course he
he's
is.
this, insufferable European who believes
Yeah.
these indigenous people don't know anything. But Chief Powhatan knows everything. Chief Powhatan knows of this story about trying to get to
Yeah.
the other ocean.
Who is
And there's-
the like emotional version of the chief, not the war version?
Correct.
Right,
He's
okay.
like the elder
Internal.
statement. He's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
like the leader. They're probably an equal footing, but like if you had
Yeah.
to pick, he's probably the guy.
Yeah, I'm never gonna think of Pete Hegseth as my leader.
Correct.
So, yeah.
100%. He's also so right. He's also but from almost all historical records, a little bit older than Paquipquineo.
Mm-hmm.
And Powhatan plays John Smith. He's
Fuck
like,
yeah,
oh,
iconic.
that's so crazy. I actually just walked back from that ocean. It's just a couple of days walk away. Like you absolutely can. Yeah, China, South America, gold, all of that's possible. Yeah, absolutely.
From here, Virginia.
And he's like, I got you, babes. Don't you even worry about it. And Powhatan knows about all of this stuff. He understands that there are French people in Canada.
Okay.
He knows that the Spanish are in Florida and Mexico. He knows that they're here to try to enslave perhaps some people. They're trying to get to
Paquiquineo got the word out.
correct. Or Powhatan is Paquiquineo. Yeah. And now we're going to get into a little conspiracy theory.
Incredible, I love it.
Because Powhatan is also like, no, it's so glad to see you guys here. I know your guys' settlement down in Roanoke didn't do so well. So it's great to see you here. And do you remember who spent a little bit of time in South Carolina and North Carolina on his way up to the Chesapeake? Paquipquineo. Yeah. And so
Remind me where geographically Roanoke is.
it's in North Carolina, like along the coast.
Okay.
So
in my head, it's like way farther north for some reason.
No,
Yeah, okay.
it's like it's realistically possible for the people in the Tidewaters to have known about Roanoke.
And Roanoke was all Europeans.
Yes, and Roanoke was the colony that when the guy left to go get supplies, everyone was there, and when he came back
they were
no
all
one
gone.
was there.
I think that's the reason I think about it all the time.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to kind of get, it's like conspiracy theory, but with historical record, which is, I think,
That's
you
my
enjoy.
favorite kind of conspiracy theory.
Okay, where do I write this down? Okay, yep. Okay, so here are the things that Powhatan knows in his conversation with John Smith that John Smith records. He knows Europeans are there trying to find a way to the ocean and to the other side. Something that Powhatan hasn't seen because he's in fucking Virginia. But he knows they believe it's there.
Right.
He's basically just assuming there's an ocean on the other side of the landmass, but he's never going to walk far enough to get there. Like, it's just something that he knows.
Yeah.
He knows the French are in Canada and that they're along the Atlantic coast. He knows the French are fur traders and have weapons. He knows the Spanish are down in Florida and Mexico. He knows that the English are a little late to this game and are now desperately trying to catch up.
Right.
He maybe possibly even mentioned something about Roanoke because there is actually some historical evidence to suggest that potentially Paquipquineo is Powhatan.
I love that.
Or that he's Paquipquineo.
So he's, okay.
Or that he's the father of one of them.
Or he's Pocahontas.
Or here's the thing, though, because if he is Powhatan, then Pocahontas is his daughter. If he is Powhatan's father, he is Pocahontas's grandfather. And if he is Paquipquineo, or even in some way related to Paquipquineo, he is her uncle. Yeah. And here's another thing, too, you should know about the John Smith story.
Yeah.
John Smith only mentions Pocahontas twice. By the way, not her name. Like, not her name
Not
at all.
at all. Yeah.
Like, I think her name starts with a W.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down because it felt a little too... Like, I'm about to already get into some conspiracy
No,
theory. So I'm going to unravel Pocahontas for you.
I was obsessed with Roanoke. I was way more obsessed with Pocahontas as a kid. So, yeah. But I remember that her name was
John
not that.
Smith only writes about the woman we know as Pocahontas twice.
Which is
he writes
crazy
about,
that now there's a Disney movie about
Right. He writes about her 15 years apart, and the stories are pretty different. But what is true is that John Smith was returning to a community that had almost no women in it. So it gives him the chance to be this like heroine, masculine figure who got laid. There's a chance Pocahontas' character didn't exist at all, or she did. She just didn't interact with John Smith. He basically like saw her in like a longhouse one day and wrote fan fiction about her for his buddies. Like for reals.
Yeah.
For reals.
That's
I love
historical.
Pocahontas might just be Disney made fan fiction from a bored, horny, captured white guy.
Which is so fucked up on so many levels. She had a kid,
keep
right?
posting on AO3. Are you thinking about Sacagawea?
I am thinking about Sacagawea. Yeah. You're right. I was obsessed with Sacagawea.
And that's okay.
I was also obsessed with Pocahontas, but definitely more obsessed with Sacagawea.
And that's a much better person to be fascinated by.
I was like, oh my God.
That's how good of a history teacher I am. And I haven't taught that subject in 5 years. I go, are you thinking about Sacagawea?
No, you knew.
I am thinking about Sacagawea.
I was, because I was like, no, this feels way too late in the timeline for Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, they're not in
Or
Idaho.
way too early. Yeah.
And so all of these things are possible. Obviously, John Smith isn't like, oh, this is Paquipquineo as we know him or whatever, right?
Wait, can I ask
Go
what
right ahead.
the historical
That's the
record
exact
is?
next
Okay,
section.
perfect.
I just wanted to clarify.
No,
like,
yeah.
Powhatan knows
I
things
just
that
have
he
way too
shouldn't
many
have.
questions, yeah.
And Powhatan knowing things he shouldn't have is evidence that Paquipquineo was influential in his community.
At least told
after
people
the Spanish
shit. Yeah,
left.
regardless.
In fact, assuming Paquipquineo is actually his own third independent person and not related to these other two central figures, he is actually maybe like the George Washington of these Algonquin speakers, because he's like, they're going to come back and we need to be ready.
So
and
I'm going
to reorganize some stuff to be ready.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful legacy in of its own self.
That is.
To like take your
very
suffering.
sad now. But
right.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, he did what he could and he cared about his people.
Yeah.
Okay, so historian Carl Burdenbaugh, who wrote 14 books about early America, like pre-revolution.
Yes.
He believed Paquipquineo was Paquipquineo. He specifically believed that
the first one.
Correct, the war chief.
The war chief, okay.
At the time of the first permanent English settlement in Jamestown in 1607, a fierce Native American warrior named Paquipquineo was the brother of Powhatan, the chief of the Powhatan Confederacy.
Oh, they're brothers.
Right. Wow. The name Paquipquineo meant he whose soul is white in the Algonquin language. It has been speculated by historians that Don Luis
Yeah.
may have actually been Paquipquineo. However, Paquipquineo, whose
Yeah.
Christian name was Don Luis,
Yeah.
was of one specific tribe. Name starts with a P. I don't want to pronounce it
Right.
and mispronounce it. And Paquipquineo and Powhatan were of these two sister tribes, but distinct enough for us to draw a difference between.
Yeah.
They were not born of the same people. And while both men are believed to have been born at the same time, and both have a reputation for being violently opposed to European settlers, others suggest that Paquipquineo was more likely a cousin or nephew of Paquipquineo.
Paquipquineo.
Thank you. That Paquipquineo was like the younger nephew or second cousin away of Paquipquineo.
Okay. So like related, but not
Correct.
Paquipquineo.
Raised in his influence,
Paquipquineo.
heard his stories, not the same person. Alternatively, some people also think that Paquipquineo may have been the father of the woman we know as Pocahontas.
That's wild.
Or may have been the father of Chief Powhatan.
So a grandfather or like uncle or father?
Right.
Yeah, somehow
It's
related.
connected. And I want to make out this so that way it's clear to our listeners. A big reason why we have a hard time actually tracing any legacy behind this is Europeans very happily destroyed any records
Also,
that existed.
just did not give a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, record keeping looked different in different communities. Like oral traditions of like sharing of that kind of stuff. Like these families would be able to trace their ancestry back through their own traditions if we hadn't massacred them.
Yep.
So others believe that he would have been the head chief Powhatan himself.
Yeah.
Because we have this testimony from a person named Ralph Hammer, Hamor, Hammer.
God forbid a person have a unique sounding name like Paquipquineo, and they're like, no, you're Don, but my name is Hammer.
Ralph Hammer.
Spelled with an O. Bitch,
Ralph?
what? My name is Raleigh, spelled with an EIGH. I hate it here.
So Ralph Hammer wrote this, titled, quote, "A True Discourse of the Present Estate of Virginia and the success of the affairs there." And he wrote this in 1614, so 7 years after John Smith arrived. And here's what they said. Here's what Ralph Hammer said about the possible connection. "Thirdly, they should at all times be ready and willing to furnish us with 300 or 400 bowmen to aid us against the Spaniards, whose name is odious amongst them. The Powhatan's father was a Druid by them and has come from the West Indies into those parts."
What?
So the West Indies was the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So he's like, these people are ready to help us fight the Spanish if they ever show up. Because for the Algonquin speakers,
Because they
it's
hate
on
the Spanish.
fucking sight.
Yeah.
Because Powhatan was brought to us from the West Indies.
Yeah. Okay. So he also thinks
Like
that
he's writing it down.
He's writing it down that
that this
Powhatan's
guy-
from the West Indies,
right.
which would match Paquipquineo's story.
Correct. Based on this possibility, Frank T. Seibert speculates that Don Luis, a.k.a. Paquipquineo, experienced observing Spanish rule, contributed to the later founding of the Powhatan Confederacy and the combining of the 6 tribes, and that it is presumed that he actually made Paquipquineo died sometime between 1583 and 1585, so before the English showed up.
Okay.
But he basically got a decade of like state building with the Algonquin speakers to unite everybody together. And then what the English come across is the immediate after effects of what he has put together. And obviously Paquipquineo's legacy is still super important in these communities.
Yeah.
And they are then talking about him in like an esteemed fashion. And because Europeans are famously bad at tracking anyone not with a white face and like what's different between them. They're like, oh, so you're Paquipquineo? And they're like,
What?
No. I am the chief that he created, but I'm not. And they're like, yeah, okay, got it. He's
Great,
from the Caribbean. He
He is Paquipquineo.
The issue with Paquipquineo being Powhatan is that like the day of the births don't match up. Powhatan might have been born only a few years after Paquipquineo, and that makes it really hard for them to be the same.
And also hard for him to be like the grandfather or father. Yeah.
Also really interesting, and this complicates things too a little bit. For these tribes, the chiefdom passed down on the mother's side. So Powhatan inherited his chiefdom not because Paquipquineo was his father, as some historians believe, but because his mother was related to the old chief. And Powhatan explained to the English, and they did not understand this.
Yeah, because they're a patriarchy.
Right, that Powhatan's children would not inherit the chiefdom, but that it would actually probably go to one of his siblings or like the child of one of his sisters. And so that also complicates
Matilda Gage somewhere in the background is like, I fucking told you.
Correct. And so that also complicates our ability to track like lineage and who's related to who, and is this Paquipquineo, or is this his son, or is this his grandson, or is this his nephew, or is this a person who just benefited from the political system?
To him.
Right. Isn't there a chance there were 3 important, intelligent, brave, fearless leaders of these communities, or was it just one guy in 3 different
Because only one can actually be powerful when you're not white. There's only one.
You've heard of 3 men in a trench coat. Now check out 1 man in 3 trench coats.
And it's all Paquipquineo.
Coming to you soon.
Someone take off Bernie's hat. I'm sure it's Paquipquineo.
And so that is this kind of fun
That's wild.
speculation. The last chapter, literally titled The Final Chapter. There's one more after that, but you'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final chapter. There is little historical doubt, however, around a couple of key historical details that we can pinpoint as true.
Okay.
So even though the 35 years between the departure of the Spanish and the arrival of the English is historically a fog
Dark
for
Ages.
us, a little bit, because we burned everything and we were like, oh no,
there's no records.
After the English arrive, we're able to start picking up some historical facts again. So first, resistance of the Algonquin speakers in the Tidewater region, also known as the Chesapeake, also known as modern-day Virginia.
Because God forbid we learn anything.
Was intensely fierce.
Okay.
Basically, right away. As soon as Paquipquineo was back, they were like, shoot them! Yeah. And they kept that energy going. Second, that Paquipquineo did exist, that he was a real person, and that while his ending story is very hard for us to finally piece together, the record keeping of the Spanish Empire and the Spanish Catholic Church does mean that we know he was in Spain twice, he was in Mexico City, he was in Florida twice, he was in Havana once.
I love that kind of historical red stringing almost.
And the fact that it then kind of blurs out, because in many ways, Paquipquineo won. He got back home.
He did.
He united his community.
He had an effect regardless of if he died right after he told everyone what he had seen.
His suffering wasn't for nothing.
Yes.
And his community was more prepared and better able to resist. 9
years.
Yeah, as a child. And his community was better able to resist because of what he experienced.
Sorry, I was like, how old was I 9 years ago? And then I had to remember what age I currently am. And then I was like, I'm 26.
Because you were like, that doesn't add up.
I'm 25. No, I'm 27. I am 27. Final answer, I'm 27. That's, okay. I was 18. 9 years. Oh my God.
There's 2 final facts that we know that I think we can both appreciate Paquipquineo's influence, even if we're unsure if he was there.
Yeah.
First, in 1822, Paquipquineo launched a fierce raid against the English settlements. They basically walked in being like, hey, would you guys like to trade for these things? And then when the English brought them in, they were like, grab the weapons! And then they murdered the English with their own weapons.
I mean, I can't be that mad.
No, they killed 350 English men, women, and children.
A lot. Oh.
It was actually 25% of the colony of Jamestown at the time.
Fuck.
Yeah, the English took revenge, but they fought back. A treaty gets signed. In fact, the Algonquin speakers resist so much. There are 3 different wars against them before the English feel like they have subdued them. Because that first raid happens in 1622. 1644, Paquiquineo is one of his final things, again attacks the English, again kills hundreds of people. He is then captured and is so old, he's basically dies in captivity
right away. Yeah.
There's also some reports that his English captor, one of the soldiers watching his cell, might have murdered him. But the reports also that if he did get murdered by an English soldier,
have we checked the footage? Is there time missing from that?
Well, just release the files.
What files? Who are you talking about?
They're not feel like this makes it better because he was still murdered and in a jail cell. But if he was murdered in a jail cell, if that tale was true, then what's also true from that tale is that Paquipquineo was so old he was no longer able to basically move his body on his own volition. So that guy got the mileage out of his body.
Hell yeah. Good for him at least.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the final chapter was who was really far from home? The Europeans. And that's the story.
And he should have maybe stayed home. And I fully recognize that I am at least 50% German.
To tie up the rest of this, the Europeans never found a river to the Pacific.
And also never found a mountain of gold.
Correct.
Or
America is also still kind of infamously a low-key anti-Catholic country. So we also never became Catholic.
Not good at Catholicism.
We've also not apologized to the indigenous. And so a real mixed bag of no
we
one's
have about
happy.
50% of people who are like, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. And then the other 50% who are like, fuck yeah, America.
I was totally right the entire time. And that's the story of Paquipquineo.
Cheers to our frescas.
Cheers to our frescas.
I hate it here.
I'm at the first month of teaching. I'm at the podcast recording session. I'm at the combination first week teaching podcast recording session, which means my voice is gone. No,
that's fair. I do have a couple things that I kept meaning to say. I can't remember the first one, but the second one, I even put it on my finger and I was like, oh, I'm going to remember that because I remember these two things and I'm going to remember these two things because they're on my index finger. And it didn't work. Anyway, the second thing is that if you've stayed this long, you're likely interested in the podcast and not just here for just the stories, which I mean, more power to you if you're just here for the stories because same. But I am working on a timeline.
Oh, cool.
For every story that we've ever told. So I've been going through... It's not actually that dramatic, but I have been going through and just kind of scrolling through. I finished my notes because I know my notes. Sure. So I have gone through all of your notes from 2023 and 2024 and pulled a lot of the major dates and then also Googled these are important people and these are the birth and death dates.
It's a little will I laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Timeline?
Yeah, it's in our drive that you can look at, but it is fundamentally changed what I think I know about history because some of the stories
just keep saying your words to me.
Some of the stories I'm like, there's no fucking way that person was alive when this shit happened. What do you mean? What do you mean? In my head, that felt like ancient history. And I'm finding out that someone was over here at a KFC or some shit.
That Michael Malloy could have met the elephant that author of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, viewed on her vacation. That it's
some of them are
degree.
Fucking crazy. I'm trying to figure out how to show all the lifetimes.
That's such a fun party trick. I'm sure there's a party game there. Have we made it public to them? We should put it on a pretty website and we can upload some of the photos and stuff.
I have I need to get through.
That'll be such a piece.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm actually very excited about it. And also, every time I add a new line item, I'm like, no.
Listen, the Gilded Age be going crazy on that timeline.
The Gilded Age be going crazy.
Wicked.
We've also had a shocking number of things from the 21st century.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That's more you than me, I think, though. Although I guess
I have
some
you
stuff.
have some stuff from the 21st century, and it's the 1900s and the 21st century that have both been holy fuck. I'm the only one with anything from BCE so far anyway. So
I can do an 8-part series on Alexander the Great. Just ask.
I think I asked you to
Fine. Rise of Rome. Here we go.
I asked you to do a podcast with me, so I think I did ask you. And I want to tell you right after I say this, I want you to start the speech. I've finished the entire first season of Gilded Age. Go.
You're about to go on the most exciting adventure of your life.
I'm so invested. Yeah, I know.
Hey, friends, thanks for sticking with us. Big history episode today. A lot of fun history stuff. We hope you appreciate a little bit of an untold history of Indigenous America and also appreciate how weird this world can be, that a boy can be kidnapped and see so much of the world and
then cause fundamental change several decades later.
And while that trauma shouldn't have happened, I just think that's not a story of Indigenous Americans that you hear every day.
No.
And that's a big reason why I wanted to share it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So thank you for sticking to that story. If you'd like to see more of us, we're on all social media as Well I Laughed. Mm-hmm. This theme is Far From Home and the next theme is Hypnotic. Mm-hmm. So if you have stories related to either of those, specifically, if you went to your high school's after prom and went on stage and got hypnotized, we want to hear about it.
Because I do have a hypnotized story that I
Right.
will be sharing.
So write into that. You can either write to wellilaughed@gmail.com, or you can go to wellilaughed.com and use our forms there to submit your story. You can find additional content on Patreon. And then lastly, the holiday season's coming up. So if you want to tell someone why you won't be going to Thanksgiving or Halloween,
Oh, I would love to do that.
we would love to tell them for you.
That's fucking incredible. Also, rate us 5 stars or rate us or whatever. I don't know.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.